Chapter 28. This level of entertainment news was at most Lin Jiawei's gossip, and of course, it would not have any impact on the Lin group. But after all, the reputation was not good. Lin Jiawei quickly spent money to delete the news about the Lin family. Most people did not know the inside story, and naturally, they were still ridiculing Chu Xiang. Marrying into a rich family with a sugar daddy was like worshipping money, and in the end, having nothing was satisfying. Occasionally there would be one or two comments for Chu Xiang, but they were all refuted and drowned in the vast number of comments. Lin Jiawei and his white moonlight, Emo Shinru, mentioned this during dinner. Emo Shinru was in a good mood when she saw Chu Xiang being ridiculed. She generously said, "Don't worry about her, just be strangers in the future." To them, Chu Xiang was just a funny outdated star. Emo Shinru felt that Chu Xiang was probably hiding in the hospital and crying now. But she, the main character, was back. Naturally, Chu Xiang did not need to exist. It would be best if she did not appear in front of her in the future. Just take it as Chu Xiang's bad luck. Who asked Chu Xiang to look like her? Chu Xiang had almost no fans, and no company to do public relations for her. Just like that, she was ridiculed on the hot search. If it was someone else, they would have already shut themselves up. But Chu Xiang did not look at Weibo at all. She was watching various performance videos of the original owner, and humming along with the videos. When the nurse came to change her bandage, she could not help but change her view of her. Her heart was too strong, wasn't it? Looking at the scumbag's lawyer and the divorce agreement, she knew how disgusting the scumbag was. Chu Xiang could still sing happily. Maybe the suicide was just a misunderstanding? Second, Chu Xiang was discharged from the hospital and went directly to the hotel. This was the bad thing about marrying casually and not buying a house. After the divorce, she could not ask him to get out. She could only stay in the hotel and go to the Lin family to get her things back. Old Madam Lin had to take a nap from 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. During this time, no one was allowed to disturb her, or she would get angry. Chu Xiang specifically chose this time to break into the Lin family's house with 4 hired part-time workers and bodyguards. The servants of the Lin family wanted to stop her, but what was wrong with her taking her own things? The title of the former young madam was still useful. At least the servants did not dare to stop her. Chu Xiang stood in the middle of the master bedroom, instructing a few hourly workers to pack the luggage. Everything bought by the Lin family was thrown away, and everything bought by the host herself was taken away. She didn't expect to find so many things. It can be seen what kind of life the original owner lived in the Lin family. A rich wife actually bought so many things for herself. The master bedroom is below old Madam Lin's bedroom. The loud noise makes old Madam Lin restless, and she wakes up from her sleep. Her long-term habit was suddenly broken, causing her to have a headache and feel uncomfortable all over. She frowned and opened the door. "What are you doing?" The maid serving her said nervously, "Old madam, young mistress came back to move her things. She's packing them downstairs." Chu Xiang? Does she not know what time it is? Old Madam Lin's face was full of displeasure. She gathered her pajamas and went downstairs. When she saw Chu Xiang, she scolded, "Chu Xiang, be quiet." Chu Xiang glanced at her and signaled the bodyguards to move the luggage out. She replied, "Old madam, move aside." "What did you call me? You have no upbringing." Old Madam Lin stared at her with her eyes wide open, her face ashen. "I can't compare to old madam's upbringing. You taught your grandson to cheat on you, and only pamper those outside. As the saying goes, if the upper beam is not straight, the lower beam will be crooked. This generation of the Lin family is like this. Sooner or later it will be over." She walked in front of old Madam Lin and said lightly, "I've tolerated you for a long time. Do you think this is the old society? Marrying into the Lin family means I have to be tortured by an old witch like you? Do you think it's great that your grandson listens to your every word? Just wait and see. If you dare to touch a single hair on Emo Shinru's head, your grandson will cut ties with you. The grandson that you worked so hard to raise is just a dog that Mo Shinru can order around. How do you feel?" "You. Chu Xiang, you." Old Madam Lin pointed at Chu Xiang. She was so angry that she could not say a word. Chu Xiang swatted her finger away and glanced at her from the corner of her eyes. She put on her sunglasses and walked out. "I've brought everything. Let's go. I don't want to stay in this rotten and dirty place for a second longer." Old Madam Lin was so angry that she felt dizzy. The servants hurriedly helped her back to her room and called for the family doctor. They also reported to Lin Jiawei. Lin Jiawei asked about old Madame Rao's condition and was relieved to know that she was fine. After hanging up the phone, he frowned. Since Mo Xinru returned to the country, this was the first time he thought about his recently divorced wife. He saw Chu Xiang at an award ceremony. At that time, he was attending as an investor and sat in the first row. Chu Xiang won the All-Round Idol of the Year award. She sang and danced on stage and radiated charm. What made him notice Chu Xiang was that her face was 70% similar to Mo Xinru's. He treated Chu Xiang as if he had found a treasure and passionately pursued Chu Xiang. He doted on Chu Xiang and soon broke through her defenses. He resisted the pressure from his family and married Chu Xiang. Chu Xiang was so touched that she took countless steps back for him. Chu Xiang suffered a lot in the Lin family when he proposed a divorce, but he did not sympathize with her. When a person loses herself, she blames others. He liked girls like Mo Xinru who were insistent and opinionated. A fake was after all a fake and could not be shown in public. But now he realized that Chu Xiang did not seem to be who he thought she was. Chu Xiang was pure and kind. She was a little sensitive and had low self-esteem. She was used to enduring and giving in. When she found out that their love was just a scam, she almost broke down. Within these 2 days, Chu Xiang drove away his lawyer, signed the divorce agreement, and left with nothing. She mocked him and Mo Xinru in front of the reporters, and deliberately angered Madame Lin. All these did not seem like something Chu Xiang would do. Did she commit suicide once and give up? Or did she want to use this to vent her dissatisfaction and make a comeback? 2 minutes later, Lin Jiawei realized that he had been thinking for so long. He sneered and threw Chu Xiang to the back of his mind. She probably just exposed her true nature. She was just a plaything. They would not have any interactions in the future. Madame Lin was so angry that she asked Lin Jiawei to think of a way to ban Chu Xiang. She could not do anything else. Chu Xiang was no longer the young mistress of the Lin family. She had moved away. How could she break the law and find fault with her? It was because she could not vent her anger that Madame Lin was even angrier and more sullen. Chu Xiang was enjoying champagne in the hotel. She checked the original owner's money and found that she only had about 2 million yuan left. The most important thing for her now was to settle down and find a way to make money. Chu Xiang found the original owner's agent and called her. She asked directly, "Sister Chen, I plan to make a comeback. Do you have any jobs for me?" Sister Chen said awkwardly, "Chu Xiang, my temple can't accept a big Buddha like you. That person from the Lin family said that he did not want to use you. Sai, why are you so stupid? He is a big CEO. Even if you can coax him a little and get more money for breaking up, you won't lose anything, right? Or you can just ask for a big resource to start over. You have fallen out with Boss Lin so badly. In the end, you left with nothing and were even banned. What do you want?" "Sister Chen, you have to know that it is too difficult to bow down to that kind of cheap man." Chu Xiang thought for a while and asked, "The entertainment industry is so big. Lin Jiawei can't control it all. Sister Chen, for the sake of our past relationship, can you give me some pointers?" This big boss's sphere of influence. As an agent, I don't know much about it. Chu Xiang, I really can't help you. I'm sorry. Chu Xiang hooked her lips. It's okay. That's it. It was understandable that the original agent didn't want to get involved in this mess. But understanding was one thing. They could continue to be friends. The original owner even sent gifts to Sister Chen during the holidays. She was really kind. Chu Xiang deleted Sister Chen's contact information and thought for a while. The Lin family was one of the top 3 companies in S City. She remembered that the son of the Zhou family in S City seemed to have a conflict with Lin Jiawei. Lin Jiawei's face didn't look good when he mentioned Zhou Yi. And the Zhou family happened to have a Xingyao entertainment company, which was managed by Zhou Yi. No matter how powerful the Lin family was, they had little involvement in the entertainment industry. They were not as important as the Zhou family. If she went to Xingyao, the Lin family's hands wouldn't be able to reach there. Chu Xiang looked up information about Xingyao online and sent a very simple resume. It would be good if she could get in. If she couldn't, she could go to B City to develop. Did Lin Jiawei really think that he was the emperor and could suppress anyone? After sending her resume, Chu Xiang bought several business magazines to read. Then she checked the business development of this world. The entertainment industry was fun, but she had to have money to play happily. She was not used to saving more than 2 million yuan. She didn't want to lower her head when she met a scumbag in the future. She could only stand at a higher place than the scumbag. The personnel of Xingyao received Chu Xiang's resume and rubbed his eyes in disbelief. Chu Xiang used to be a top idol. Now she had fallen to the point of quietly sending her resume, but after looking at it several times, it was still Chu Xiang's resume. He immediately reported it to the supervisor. Chu Xiang's fame was there. Even if she was ridiculed by the whole internet, she would still be blacklisted. There was a risk to sign her. If she didn't sign, it might be a loss. Such a person should be decided by the top management. Zhou Yi happened to be in the company. When it was time to get off work, he called a few of the top management to have dinner together. Someone mentioned at the dinner table, "It turns out that the popular Chu Xiang sent us her resume today. She probably knows that Boss Lin has banned her and wants to try her luck at Xingyao." Zhou Yi raised his eyebrows slightly while holding a wine glass. Lin Jiawei? He banned his ex-wife? Yes, Boss Lin is too calculative. Not only did he force Chu Xiang out of the marriage with nothing, but he also banned her and didn't let anyone use her. No matter what, they were husband and wife. He tricked her into being a substitute and didn't give her any compensation. He even added insult to injury. How interesting. Zhou Yi shrugged and smiled casually. Who knows what's going on between husband and wife? Maybe they're flirting. That shouldn't be possible. Look, Boss Zhou. I still have the video of Chu Xiang's interview in the ward. The people below sent it to me. It hasn't been deleted yet. Zhou Yi took the phone and laughed when he saw Chu Xiang's arrogant look in the ward. Chu Xiang's character was bad. Mo Xinru was the third. No wonder Lin Jiawei was so scheming to ban her. Chu Xiang didn't get 100 billion yuan in assets after the divorce. Wasn't she mocking Lin Jiawei? How could Lin Jiawei have 100 billion yuan in assets for her to share? Zhou Yi put down the phone and took a sip of wine. When he thought of how Chu Xiang had insulted Lin Jiawei, he laughed. Chu Xiang is quite interesting. Why didn't I realize that she was so bold in the past? Get someone to meet her for a chat. No need. I'll go and see for myself. Chapter 29. When Chu Xiang received Zhou Ye's invitation, she was a little surprised. She didn't expect that her resume would be seen by the company's boss, and it would become an interview. She agreed and walked into the bathroom to look at herself in the full-length mirror. She frowned slightly and was very dissatisfied. Women were like flowers sometimes. They were nourished by life and became beautiful. But when they were unhappy, they would wither no matter how many products they used. Her current body was in a withered state. The original owner was only 24 years old, but at first glance, she looked 10 years older. Looking carefully, her skin wasn't smooth or tight. She looked tired and her face was dark. Overall, it gave people a rough feeling. Although Chu Xiang could absorb a little spiritual energy to nourish her body, the spiritual energy in this world was too thin, and the nourishment was very slow. These 2 short days were only enough for her to get rid of the side effects of the sleeping pills. She didn't even have time to beautify herself. Of course, she had to be beautiful in the entertainment industry. Even if others weren't beautiful, she still had to be beautiful. Chu Xiang added another beautifying project to her recent plan. She took out the original owner's cosmetics and carefully dressed herself up. She only stopped when she covered her tired face and smiled at the mirror. A woman would dress herself up for someone who liked her. Chu Xiang felt that women always dressed to make themselves happy. Anyway, she was a beauty lover. She would be in a good mood when she saw herself beautiful. Chu Xiang smoothed her black shoulder-length hair and picked out clothes that showed her good complexion. She dressed up and hummed a song as she went out for the appointment. The original owner had just committed suicide. And these 2 days were the time when the entertainment reporters were watching. As soon as Chu Xiang came out of the hotel, she was followed by 2 groups of reporters. She called a taxi and added a house and a car to her plan. She was reading business magazines on the way, and the covers of the magazines were also taken by the reporters. Zhou Yi arranged to meet her at a Western restaurant. When Chu Xiang arrived, Zhou Yi was already waiting there, playing games on his phone. Hearing her voice, he raised his head and smiled. "Sister Chu, we meet again." Chu Xiang smiled and shook his hand. "Director Zhou, sorry to keep you waiting. I also just arrived. It's a gentleman's duty to wait for a lady." Zhou Yi gestured to the waiter. "Let this lady order first. What does Sister Chu like to eat? The steak here is very good. It was just flown in from Australia this morning. You can try it." "Okay, then I'll have the steak recommended by Mr. Zhou, and a salad will do." Sister Chu is controlling her diet? Of course. Now that you're ready to make a comeback, you have to take care of your body. Chu Xiang turned off the broadcast and handed it to Zhou Yi with a smile. She looked at his face for a second longer. There were countless handsome men and beautiful women in the entertainment industry. She had seen a lot of them in the past 2 days, but it was rare to see someone as good-looking as Zhou Yi. He wasn't very masculine, but he wasn't too feminine either. He just gave off the feeling of a playboy. Even the smile on his face had a hint of wickedness. Chu Xiang took a sip of lemon juice. She had no idea about Zhou Yi's character. The appearance was born from the heart. This was a carefree and unrestrained man who didn't care about anything. However, he was ruthless in his bones. If he really cared about something, he would do his best to win. This kind of personality was just right. He was very suitable to be her temporary boss. And he could also embarrass the Lin family. Chu Xiang's lips curled up. She was interested in chatting with him. After Zhou Yi finished ordering, he looked at Chu Xiang and asked her curiously, "Sister Chu, do you want to make a comeback to make money? Or do you want to continue fighting with the Lin family? Or is there any other reason?" Chu Xiang fiddled with her earrings and said casually, "I just think that the entertainment industry is very fun. I'm so happy to have so many fans who like me. Moreover, I can act in all kinds of shows, dress up as different people, and appear on TV for everyone to see. Isn't that fun?" Zhou Yi was a little surprised. "Fun?" He crossed his arms on the table and smiled. "Sister Chu is also a very interesting person. Lin Jiawei is banning you now. Haven't you thought of doing something to fight back? Are you willing to just let it go? It's stupid to go head-to-head with others before I have the ability. It's never too late for a gentleman to take revenge. I'm very vengeful, but I know when to strike." Chu Xiang smiled. "Why did Mr. Zhou come to meet me? Do you think I have commercial value? Or do you want to make Lin Jiawei uncomfortable? Both? Maybe I just think it's fun. But after meeting Sister Chu today, I'm looking forward to Sister Chu's future development. Maybe you will really give people a different surprise. Sister Chu, happy working with you?" Zhou Yi reached out his hand again and shook Chu Xiang's hand. In just a few words they decided on the signing. Chu Xiang smiled. "Happy working with you." Chu Xiang also felt that Zhou Yi was very interesting. Wasn't it a good thing to have such an unconventional boss in the entertainment industry? The reporters couldn't follow the restaurant and could only take photos from the opposite side of the road. However, because of the angle, they could only take photos of Chu Xiang eating with a man. The man's face couldn't be captured. After the meal, Zhou Yi and Chu Xiang directly left from the underground car park. The reporters didn't follow them and directly published the news. The trending topic was still Chu Xiang. The media reported that Chu Xiang was eating happily with a man after her divorce and didn't look sad at all. The man's luxury car didn't lose to Lin Jiawei's. It was speculated that he was from the upper class. Was Chu Xiang's quick divorce related to this man? As soon as the news came out, all the major media outlets immediately reposted it. The netizens ate another big melon. A large number of Chu Xiang's anti-fans reveled in Chu Xiang's show. Chu Xiang was so unhappy in the Lin family, but she still endured it. If it wasn't for money, could it be for true love? Back then, she was so cute and pure that she set up a prenuptial notarization. Now she's dumbfounded. She probably didn't think that she would get out of the marriage so quickly. She hasn't even gotten what she should have gotten. She must have committed suicide for money. Now that she's divorced so quickly, she either took the money in private or found another family. Didn't Chu Xiang leave the marriage with nothing in the hospital? I didn't see any evidence. I only saw that the hotel she stayed in wasn't cheap, and the restaurant she ate at was so expensive. Haha. Don't sympathize with her. She's much better off than us. This man's taste is a little weird. Chu Xiang just got divorced, and he's already trying to pick her up? But back then, Lin Jiawei married Chu Xiang as a substitute. It was an exception. Other people definitely wouldn't marry her. Could it be that she's lacking a lover? She was squeezed out by the third party, and now she's lacking a lover? Isn't that face the only thing she can see? Oh, she also has a good voice. That's good. Anyway, it's easier to give her a lover than to work in the entertainment industry. She can earn money lying down. The person above is a little too much. How is Sister Mo a third party? President Lin has always loved Sister Mo, okay? Chu Xiang was the last one. Look at Chu Xiang's flirtatious and slutty appearance. How can she compare to the elegant and generous Sister Mo? Sister Mo is probably vomiting in her heart. F***ck. Even if I don't like Chu Xiang, I still think that the crazy Mo Shinru above is a third party. Before Chu Xiang got divorced, she was already sleeping outside with Lin Jiawei. All women should be on Chu Xiang's side. But I don't understand why Chu Xiang would be smiling with another man right after her divorce. Wasn't it a flash marriage back then? I don't know the word true love anymore. Where's the sadness? Where's the pain? A dog can't change its habit. Back then she was abandoned for money. Now she's still sticking to the rich. She even wants to make a comeback. It's all hype. I think she'll continue to be like this. The haters couldn't wait to vent their anger on Chu Xiang. They didn't even need to use ghostwriters. The haters were able to shut down the true fans and passers-by. Someone even posted a comparison between Chu Xiang and Mo Shinru. They used a picture of Chu Xiang looking slightly haggard when she was discharged from the hospital, and a picture of Mo Shinru smiling sweetly and elegantly with light makeup. Was there a need to compare who would win? The key was that the picture had been spread widely. Most passers-by saw this comparison and their first instinct was that Chu Xiang was much worse than Mo Shinru. The topic of all men don't choose Chu Xiang was quickly updated. Chu Xiang saw the news and couldn't help but laugh out loud. Zhou Yi looked at her in surprise. You can laugh even after being scolded by haters? What's so funny? Chu Xiang casually browsed through the scolding online and said with a smile, I just think it's interesting. I haven't officially made a comeback and joined the entertainment industry, but they're already paying attention to me. The haters are the true fans. They know more about my activities than the true fans. Think about it. I'm not doing anything here, but countless people are surrounding me and being attracted by me. How interesting is that? This is the first time I've heard of such a method. Sister Chu's thinking is very strange. You're probably not in the entertainment industry, but there are rumors about you in the entertainment industry? Zhou Yi smiled and drove the car into Xingyao's headquarters. In the future, the public relations department will take care of these things. They won't let the dirty water splash on you. Don't worry, the public relations department under me is very strong. Chu Xiang shrugged. It's okay. Anyway, Mr. Zhou will be scolded with me. It doesn't seem to be a loss. They're all men, but they don't choose me. I'm really looking forward to their faces slapping themselves. It will be very interesting. Zhou Yi brought her into the elevator and said with a smile, Sister Chu seems very confident. As far as I know, you didn't have any famous works before you left the entertainment industry. Chu Xiang smiled. Maybe it's because I've honed my acting skills in the past year at the Lin family? Mr. Zhou, I want to sign a top artist contract. I won't let the company down. The more time I spend with Sister Chu, the more expectations I have for Sister Chu. I hope you'll always be so interesting. Zhou Ye's eyes flashed with interest. He brought Chu Xiang to the reception room and called his secretary to prepare the contract. The contract was for top artists. It was signed once a year and the benefits were split in half. The company was equipped with an elite team to tailor a development plan for Chu Xiang. Even her manager was a gold medal manager in Xingyao. He only had one best actor, Dong Shu, under him. Dong Shu was 45 years old. He had made 3 best actresses, 2 best actors, and 2 best singers popular. Now that he was a little older, he didn't want to work hard anymore. That was why he had retired with 1 best actor in Xingyao. Before meeting Chu Xiang, he went to the office to see Zhou Yi. He asked curiously, "Mr. Zhou thinks very highly of Chu Xiang. May I ask why?" Zhou Yi sat on a leather swivel chair and smiled. "Fun. If I hadn't seen her today, I would think that her request to the company is very strange. You've seen her information, right? It's average. But after seeing her in person, it's like a magical attraction. It's like a butterfly breaking out of a cocoon. I have a feeling that she will give me a big surprise. Okay. I believe in Mr. Zhou's judgment. Then I'll let go of her." Chu Xiang's experience was very special. It was very challenging for her to become famous. Zhou Ye's words stirred up Dong Shu's long-dormant desire. Wasn't it a good idea to use Chu Xiang as a masterpiece? Chapter 30. Uncle Dong and Chu Xiang met and chatted for a while. They were very happy and directly signed the contract. Uncle Dong was a very active person. Seeing that it was still early, he asked Chu Xiang if she wanted to have a meeting to decide on a comeback plan. He was a bit worried that Chu Xiang would not be able to keep up with his rhythm after leaving the entertainment industry for a year. He explained, "My personality is to do everything in front of me. The faster the better. I might give you more work in the future. After all, this is the fastest way to become famous. If you are not used to it or have any ideas, you can tell me. I will consider your rhythm." Chu Xiang revealed an eager expression and smiled. "I like this rhythm. What I have the most right now is time. I can't wait to do something. Then let's have a meeting now." "Alright, I'll call someone over." Uncle Dong smiled and pressed the internal line to have his assistant call people. The people who came were the head of the company's operations department, the head of the public relations department, the voice music teacher, the dance teacher, the performance teacher, the body coach, and the nutritionist. Everyone sat around a table, and Uncle Dong sat at the head of the table. He first introduced everyone to each other, and then he chuckled. Today's meeting is mainly to let everyone understand Chu Xiang, and to decide on the most suitable comeback plan. Everyone knows that Chu Xiang is very popular these 2 days. It is best not to miss this flow, and immediately appear in front of the audience. You will gain a wave of passers-by fans, and let Chu Xiang's former fans know that she is back. Then Chu Xiang, you will now show your strength and let the teachers evaluate you. We will know ourselves and our enemies. Okay. Chu Xiang stood up and stood in the open space, singing and dancing the original owner's most popular song. Chu Xiang performed very seriously. The people around the table also watched very seriously, but their expressions were not good. After the voice music teacher finished listening to her, he pointed at the book and muttered, "The voice is very good, and the sense of music is also very good. It's just that you lack practice. Your breath and high notes are a bit lacking. I suggest that you don't sing a comeback right now. Everyone will compare you to Chu Xiang when she was at her peak, and it will be disappointing. But don't worry, this can be practiced." The dance teacher tactfully said, "Chu Xiang has a good foundation in dancing, but her muscles are a little stiff now, and her movements are not very precise. She needs time to get used to it. Before you finish practicing, I suggest that you don't perform the dance." Chu Xiang nodded and wiped the thin sweat on her forehead. The 2 teachers are right. I also feel a little strained. My current physical fitness is not as good as it was a year ago. I still need to recuperate and practice more. I'm not afraid of hardships. The 2 teachers can make a more intense training plan for me. I hope to recover to my peak strength as soon as possible. Alright, no problem. The 2 teachers smiled and agreed. They were not afraid of not practicing, but they were afraid of not practicing. They appreciated Chu Xiang's attitude very much. Singing and dancing were the things that the original owner was best at. If she couldn't even pass in this area, then no one would look forward to anything else. The acting teacher gave Chu Xiang a test question that was commonly seen in practice classes. She had to act out the same thing with emotions. Chu Xiang thought about it while drinking water, and then acted it out according to her understanding. She knew how to act, but it was a bit difficult for her to imagine something she had never done before. But she had lived for a long time, and had seen many people, so she could accurately grasp the key points of their emotions. The acting teacher revealed a surprised expression. When she finished, he immediately applauded and said with pleasant surprise, "Very good. I think it's very good. You've grasped the essence, but you're still lacking in understanding the art of acting. Uncle Dong, I think that Chu Xiang will have no problem walking down the path of acting. If she learns from me for a while, she will definitely be able to take on the role of a female lead in a TV drama." Uncle Dong nodded with satisfaction. Then the fitness instructor had Chu Xiang do some basic training movements to judge the strength of Chu Xiang's muscles. He, the nutritionist and the bodybuilding teacher, gave some useful suggestions on the spot. Uncle Dong told them to go back and write a training plan. In the future, fitness and bodybuilding would become Chu Xiang's daily routine. Uncle Dong looked at the records in his notebook and said, "Chu Xiang's acting skills are indeed not bad. This is a highlight that can be contrasted with her bad acting skills. In the future, when the time is right, it can be used as a focal point to change her image. Then arrange more acting classes. Acting is much better than singing and dancing. But there's no movement in the filming. It will take at least half a year for the drama to air. It's best to push back the filming and do something else first." The operations manager had been observing Chu Xiang. Hearing this, he said, "Should we give Chu Xiang an independent and self-reliant persona? This is the first time I've seen Chu Xiang. I feel that Chu Xiang is different from the image I had in my mind. In the past, Chu Xiang was very popular. She could be considered a top idol in the entertainment circle. I also paid attention to her. I always felt that Chu Xiang was very simple. A bit real. She couldn't let go. When she looked at the camera, her eyes were a bit timid. Only when she sang and danced on stage would she emit a dazzling light. But overall, she was still a bit weak. She was the cute and sweet kind. But today, when I saw Chu Xiang, I found that there was no trace of weakness in Chu Xiang. Her eyes were firm and confident. It was the feeling of a strong person who could do anything. I don't know if you guys have felt it, but I feel that the current Chu Xiang is very different from the past." Uncle Dong nodded. "I understand what you mean. I also feel the same. Chu Xiang, are you aware of the changes in you? Or was your image in the past set up by someone?" Chu Xiang lowered her eyes and played with a pen. She smiled and said, "In the past, the company put some labels on me. But those were my true nature. I'm really kind. I know how to be on guard and cautious. But deep down, I'm easily deceived. I'm easily timid when facing many people and many things. But once a person experiences pain and death, all cowardice will disappear. All that's left is strength." She looked up at them and said, "I'm a strong Chu Xiang now. There's nothing I can't do. I like the entertainment circle very much. I treat it as a battlefield. In the end, I must stand at the top. I hope that you guys have the same expectations as me. In the future, there's only going forward. There's no going back. There's no going back." The few people who were originally just doing their jobs were shocked by her ruthlessness. They were also infected by her heroic spirit, and felt their blood boil. "Chu Xiang, you're good in all aspects. You'll definitely be able to carve out a bloody path." The operations manager slammed the table and said excitedly, "I've got it. There's no need to put any labels on Chu Xiang. Just let Chu Xiang face the audience in the reality show with her truest appearance. The audience will definitely be attracted to her. When the time comes, there will naturally be labels on her. That's the most natural thing. There's no need to be afraid of breaking her image. Isn't there a live broadcast reality show now? It can be broadcasted immediately. With the current popularity of Chu Xiang's divorce, she can immediately make a comeback. Uncle Dong, what do you think?" Uncle Dong pondered and said, "Reality shows are a double-edged sword. It's easy to attract fans and also easy to attract haters. But from everyone's reaction today, I think that if we let Chu Xiang participate in the reality show, she'll have a higher chance of attracting fans. She can first accept 1 or 2 episodes of the live broadcast reality show as a flying guest to test the waters. If the results are good, she can then take on a high-quality reality show and seamlessly take over. As for the advertisements, we can choose ones that are popular among the citizens. They'll be broadcasted frequently on TV and can be printed on the product packaging. Currently, the most important thing for us is to expand our national popularity. It's best if our former fans can come back. The focus is still on developing new fans. The Public Relations Department will not reveal that Chu Xiang has signed with Starshine. Let the hot search of Chu Xiang and CEO Zhou ferment for 2 more days. Wait for me to decide on the program, then we'll make a statement to clarify and promote the reality show. No problem. Uncle Dong, if you have any requests, feel free to let me know. I'll do my best to cooperate. The public relations manager nodded and looked at Chu Xiang. He asked seriously, Chu Xiang, can you honestly tell me if you have any scandals? Chu Xiang spread her hands. Don't worry about this. I don't have any scandals. The public relations manager was still worried. If you have any scandals, you must tell me. We need to deal with them first and prepare a response plan in advance. Chu Xiang smiled. Don't worry. I know the pros and cons. Since I've set the entertainment industry as my future development direction, I won't destroy my own future. The most important thing for a team is honesty and trust. I won't hide this from you. I'll tell you in advance. After all, I have quite a lot of haters. This battle won't be easy. The few of them smiled. Everyone worked together. This comeback will definitely be successful. Uncle Dong put away his notebook and smiled. Then that's all for today. I'll contact some jobs later and communicate with everyone. When the time comes, we'll have a meal together to discuss. It's my treat. Thank you in advance, Uncle Dong. The few of them smiled and left together. Uncle Dong smiled at Chu Xiang. Everyone is easy to get along with. There aren't many messy things in Starshine. In the future, when you're fighting outside, you can rest assured and leave the rear to the company. Don't worry. Although we've just met, I have high hopes for you. I hope you can stand at the top like you just did. I definitely will. Chu Xiang's smile was full of confidence. It was as if her words were a promise and she had the ability to do it. Uncle Dong was satisfied. That's good. Go back to the hotel and rest. I'll arrange a place for you. Do you want to rent your own place or live in the company's dormitory? The company's dormitory is a 1-bedroom apartment. You can live alone. There's no problem with your safety. But you'll meet other artists who live in the dormitory. Chu Xiang didn't care. I'll live in the dormitory. When I earn enough money, I'll buy a house. I hope I can start working as soon as possible. Okay. I've already asked someone to prepare a company car for you. I'll take you to see your driver and assistant. Mingxi will pick you up to the company for classes and some training. I'll inform you immediately when I have good news. Be ready at any time. Okay. Chu Xiang picked up her bag and followed Uncle Dong to his office. Her driver was called Yang Yong. He was a calm 30-years-old man. He was a retired soldier and could be a part-time bodyguard. Her assistant was called Tao Hui. She was 23 years old and was a lively girl. She knew when to advance and when to retreat. Chu Xiang was very satisfied with her basic team. Next, it was time to prepare for the camera. She sat in the back of the car and looked in the mirror. She said to Yang Yong, Brother Yong, let's go to the medicine shop. Chapter 31. Yang Yong didn't like to talk, so he answered and turned to the navigation system. Tao asked curiously, Sister Xiang, are you taking Chinese medicine? Do you have any dietary restrictions? Chu Xiang flipped through the business magazine and said, I don't have any dietary restrictions. I bought the herbs because I want to take a bath. I'm going to work soon, so I need to adjust my state. Tao quickly looked at her exposed skin and asked hesitantly, Sister Xiang, where did you see the formula? Is it reliable? Do you want me to book you a full body care and go to a spa? I know a place that has good effects. It's Guiling. Chu Xiang smiled. I'll go there later. Don't worry, I've used this formula before. It's not a problem. Okay. Sister Xiang, tell me what you need. I'll buy it for you so that you won't be photographed and written nonsense. Tao took out her phone and opened her notebook. Chu Xiang thought for a moment and shook her head. I'll go see it myself. I can't remember clearly. I'll know after seeing it. If it's okay, what else can they write? It's all harmless things. If they want to write, then write. Tao put away her phone and sighed. Sister Xiang, you're really popular. I think you'll be photographed and reported when you go shopping or buy groceries. If you have anything in the future, just ask me to do it. It's annoying to be watched all the time. Okay, I'll look for you often. Chu Xiang was used to having someone help her, and was very satisfied with Tao. Tao saw that she was reading the magazine seriously. Although she was a little curious about why she was reading a business magazine, she didn't ask. She stopped talking and opened Weibo to see the trend of public opinion online. When she saw that the topic "Men Don't Choose Chu Xiang" was trending, she couldn't help but glance at Chu Xiang. If she was like this, she would probably cry. She remembered that Chu Xiang also cried very sadly at the press conference announcing her withdrawal from the entertainment industry. She looked a little weak. She didn't expect that she could remain calm after being criticized by so many people. Tao then looked at Chu Xiang's Weibo. She hadn't logged in for a year. Her last Weibo post was a farewell to her fans. There were many negative comments under her Weibo, which made her angry. She planned to go back and have a good relationship with Chu Xiang, and see if she needed her help to manage Weibo. After she came back, she should also manage these social media accounts well. The car drove to the medicine shop. Tao went in with Chu Xiang to buy medicine. Chu Xiang looked around, picked a few herbs and smelled them carefully. She didn't know much about modern medicinal herbs. In her previous life, she hadn't come into contact with these either. However, when she was cultivating in her original world, she had done a lot of alchemy. There were some medicinal herbs whose medicinal properties were similar to those in the modern world. She just needed to look for them to confirm. Tao felt inexplicably uneasy. He didn't seem to know the formula well. Was it really okay to pick out the herbs just by smelling them? However, Chu Xiang had already rejected her suggestion, and insisted on buying the herbs. Tao couldn't say anything more. She could only help to watch from the side. Chu Xiang wasn't satisfied with the quality of the herbs. After more than half an hour, she reluctantly picked out a few herbs. Some were for drinking, some were for soaking, and she also bought a pot for boiling the herbs. After paying the bill, Tao took the initiative to help her get the herbs. She carried the big bag to the car. Thinking of the price of these herbs, her heart ached. I hope these are really useful. It's almost worth a month's salary. Chu Xiang was amused by her painful expression. She pinched her face and comforted her. Don't feel bad. When I become famous, I'll give you a raise. Hey, I'm looking forward to Sister Xiang giving me a raise. Tao smiled and asked Yang Yong to drive. This time they went straight to the hotel. Chu Xiang treated them to a buffet in the hotel restaurant. It was an employee benefit. Tao happily took a lot of delicious food. She didn't need to lose weight. This meal fully showed her love for food. While laughing with Chu Xiang, she habitually browsed the internet on her phone. When she clicked on Weibo, she suddenly saw a big influencer's Weibo. It was a photo of them buying the herbs just now. The caption said that Chu Xiang was sick and accompanied by decoctions every day. Now, netizens were guessing what illness Chu Xiang had. Some even suspected that she was dumped because she was infertile. Tao said angrily, "These people really have nothing to do. What does Sister Xiang have to do with them? Even buying herbs makes them think so much. Why don't you become a screenwriter?" Chu Xiang tilted her head and looked at her phone. She continued to eat indifferently. What are you angry about? It's not like you'll lose a piece of meat. They can only say one thing on the internet. When they really come to me, they won't be able to say a word. Tao was stunned for a moment before sniggering. Sister Xiang, you're right. This kind of keyboard warrior's life is filled with Luther. Which serious person would be like this? Sister Xiang, you're really generous. If it were me, I would be furious. I'm used to it. Chu Xiang remembered her life when she was cultivating. So what if he said a few words? Being on the edge of life and death was the most terrible thing. Talking was always the lowest level. This kind of person wasn't worth her time. Brother Yong didn't say much during the meal. After eating, he and Tao left. Chu Xiang went back to her room and took a shower first. Then, she turned on the TV and played the financial news. While listening, she adjusted the amount of herbs and began to boil the medicine. The first pot was ruined. The effect of the medicine was wrong, and the heat was wrong. Chu Xiang poured it out and boiled it again. This time, the heat and the amount were just right. She let it cool a little and drank it in one gulp. Then, she went to take a medicinal bath and applied an ointment to her face. If someone saw her at this time, they would probably be shocked. Her face and neck were painted blue and green. Below her neck, she was soaked in water. All kinds of herbs were floating on the water. At first glance, it was quite scary. However, Chu Xiang mobilized a little bit of Reiki in her body and tried to absorb the effect of the medicine. She could clearly feel that her skin was being nourished. The beauty formula she made was successful. The next day, Chu Xiang woke up refreshed. Her skin condition was better and was no longer so dark. She went to the company for classes and training. Tao and Brother Yong helped her move. A few artists happened to gather in the apartment next door. When they heard the noise, they came out to ask. They were surprised to learn that Chu Xiang had moved in. They went back to the room. It seems that Chu Xiang really left the family with nothing. She actually lived in the same dormitory with us. I can't imagine. That's Chu Xiang. A year ago, she was a top celebrity. Now she's my neighbor. Hey, can Chu Xiang still be popular after she comes back? She had so many fans in the past. They all thought that she was materialistic and lost her fans because of her flash marriage. Now that she's divorced, she's still so down and out. Will her fans come back because of old feelings? I don't think so. How many true fans can there be? It's been a year. Many people have become fans of someone else. How can they come back? If she really had fans, would she not be mocked so miserably now? I heard that Lin Jiawei even banned her. Otherwise, why would she come to our company? Hey, I still envy her. After all, she was popular before. We don't even know what it's like to be popular. The artists had forgotten what they were talking about before. The topic had all turned to Chu Xiang. This was her current popularity. She could become the focus of attention even before she showed up. People couldn't help but talk about her. However, her popularity wouldn't always be so high. After her divorce, people wouldn't pay so much attention to her. It wouldn't be easy for her to become a hot topic again. If she didn't do anything, it would be easy for her to lose popularity. Therefore, Uncle Dong had been contacting Chu Xiang from morning to night. He had a wide network. Many people gave him face. He really found two very good live broadcast reality shows. One of them was a live broadcast of Iran doing tasks in different places. Through doing some difficult and interesting tasks, she would take the audience to see the scenery or city characteristics. She would also recommend some delicious food. The program was very popular. This program was called Banana Outdoor Tasks. The resident MCs were 5 male stars. There were actors, hosts, singers, and guests would fly in every episode to join them. Sometimes it was 1 or 2 people. Sometimes it was a large group of people. The number of guests was different because of the different tasks. Uncle Dong and the program team discussed letting Chu Xiang participate in this episode. In the form of each resident MC inviting a friend. There was an MC who had filmed a TV series with Chu Xiang. They acted as master and disciple. It was very appropriate to invite Chu Xiang. When the time came, the 10 of them would split up to do tasks. Whether Chu Xiang would be conspicuous or ignored would depend on her. It just so happened that Chu Xiang was very popular now. Her image was actually not that bad. There was no evidence on the internet. The program team decided to use Chu Xiang. Of course, the most important thing was that this program was a TV program. Lin Jiawei's hands couldn't reach that far. Another program was a live broadcast of the daily life of the 4 resident MCs. It was called Artists Are Bears. Every Saturday, the 4 MCs would live broadcast for 2 hours. During these 2 hours, they had to find something to do to make the program exciting. Every episode, they would invite their friends to join them. It didn't matter how many friends they had. The most important thing was that they often did some very bad things to make the program interesting. There was an MC in this program who was an artist of Xingyao. Let him invite Chu Xiang and another artist of Xingyao. At that time, the three of them could do whatever they wanted, and it wouldn't be awkward. If Chu Xiang could have some points that the audience liked, it would be natural and attract fans in this program. There was no deliberate element at all. Uncle Dong introduced these two programs to Chu Xiang and asked her what she thought. Chu Xiang nodded and said with a smile, "It's very interesting. Just these two. I'm not afraid of hardships. When will it be filmed?" Artists Are Bears will be filmed tomorrow. The candidates have been decided before. Now you are one more. You can be invited. It won't affect anything. Outdoor task is next weekend about 10 days later. You can strengthen your physical fitness during these few days. Okay, then let's settle these two. Uncle Dong, send the things I need to pay attention to my email. I'll prepare well. If there's nothing else, I'll go back early today and watch the previous Artists Are Bears to understand the style of the program. Okay. Uncle Dong waited for Chu Xiang to leave before he laughed and shook his head. He had always been the one who gave orders to the artists. When it came to Chu Xiang, he felt that Chu Xiang was like his boss. Sometimes he really thought that he saw Director Zhou. Uncle Dong and the program team finally made the decision. They went to Zhou Yi to report Chu Xiang's comeback plan. Zhou Yi had always trusted his subordinates and would not interfere with their work. When he knew, he nodded to show that he understood. However, after he saw the two programs that Chu Xiang was going to participate in, he said with interest, "Is it okay for her to go to these two? Aren't these two programs famous for making fun of people?" Chapter 32. The two shows that Chu Xiang was going to be on were indeed famous for their pranks. As soon as Chu Xiang arrived at the filming location, she was told that she was going to shoot a challenge. The MC who invited her was a 50-year-old actor, Dong Boheo. He had always been single and had strong life skills, but he always had strange ideas. He was still childish and liked to do all kinds of things. For example, he was exhausted from challenging the Guinness World Record, eating all over the street until he couldn't move, building a 2-meter-tall transformer with waste products, and cutting 2 sacks of onions with his friends to pickle them. When the program crew interviewed his mother said helplessly and proudly, "I can't control this brat anymore. He's 50 years old anyway, so he can do whatever he wants. Fortunately, he's doing well." Dong Boheo indeed did well every time he tried a new trick, and it was especially cute and attracted countless fans. Even though he was 50 years old, there were still many people watching his live show, and he had many fans. This time, he invited Liao Zhe, who was his junior brother from the same company. The two of them were originally going to challenge bungee jumping and diving, but after Chu Xiang was at it, the program crew proposed to change bungee jumping into rock climbing and steel rope walking. Bungee jumping was scary enough, but sometimes when you closed your eyes, your heart would jump. For rock climbing, the program crew deliberately chose a misleading route, which was to climb the cliff. If you went wrong, you would have to go back and do it again. It was a special test of Rao Zhe's psychological strength. Walking on a steel rope, you had to walk from one mountain to another at a height of 600 meters. When the wind blew, you would feel like you were falling into a bottomless abyss. It was too cruel and torturous. Liao Zhe was afraid of heights, and had already planned to not bungee jump until his legs went soft. Now that he had changed a steel rope, he cursed on the spot and hugged Dong Boheo, shouting that he had been tricked. The program crew asked Chu Xiang, "Can you do it? There are no problems with the safety measures. If you can't do it, you can give up. But try to make it look good, or else it won't be interesting." Chu Xiang looked at the steel rope that was at most 200 meters long, and the steel rings used for climbing on the cliff. Wasn't it simple? She calmly nodded at the production crew. "I have no problem with that. We can start filming at any time." The production crew reminded her worriedly, "If you're scared, just give up when it's almost time. Don't yell or scream. This is a live broadcast. It'll look bad if it's shown." Chu Xiang glanced at him. I'm not afraid. Seeing that Chu Xiang's expression didn't change, the man was a little confused and left. Don't girls usually panic when they see this kind of thing? They had changed the challenge to make the show more effective. Why was Chu Xiang's reaction so different from what they had imagined? Dong Boheo was already warming up. He said to Chu Xiang and Liao Zhe, you two work hard. Don't lose to me later, or people will laugh at you. I'll treat you to a meal after the shoot. Liao Zhe's face was pale and his eyes were empty. Eating a Manchuhan imperial feast can't make up for my love. I shouldn't have come to this show. Why didn't I think that you would cheat me? Chu Xiang smiled. Brother Liao, wait behind me. I will give you some courage. Liao Zhe's neck was stiff, and he slowly turned to look at Dong Xuebing. And why are the girls nowadays not afraid? As they were talking, the live broadcast started. The director gave them a hand signal and started filming quietly. The production crew will not announce the next episode's guest. That's why when the live broadcast started, the audience was stunned when they saw Chu Xiang. Who is that? What is she doing? Why is she here? Everyone had the same question in their minds, and the bullet screen exploded. Chu Xianglai is Brother Dong's show. What? Damn. Why is she here? Look at this show. Isn't this a challenge? Ah. Don't ruin Brother Dong's show. That is really Chu Xiang. Didn't she fail to commit suicide, and is suffering from illness? Is she going to commit suicide on this show? No. Is the production crew crazy about viewership? How dare they get Chu Xianglai to embarrass Brother Dong? How can they bring such a weak and sickly woman for extreme sports? Didn't Chu Xiang say she is going to make a comeback? Is she going to make a comeback on Brother Dong's show? Yen %yen at #at. Ah. I want to scold her. She had ruined this show. We want to watch Brother Dong do extreme sports. Who wants to watch this wimpy woman? She will surely cry. She will still scream and refuse to go up. She will also cry and ask Brother Dong to comfort her. Liao Zhe is also asking two men to coax a princess. She is not a princess. She is an abandoned woman. This production crew is a bunch of idiots. The bullet screen was filled with comments, and Dong Xuebing's assistant asked the director softly, Director, are you sure this will work? The audience is scolding us. The director waved his hand. This is also a highlight. Liao Zhe is enough for this episode, and Chu Xiang is an additional guest. If her performance is too bad, we can switch the camera to Liao Zhe and Dong Boheo. It will not affect the show. Tao hugged Chu Xiang's handbag and squatted by the side. She looks at Chu Xiang worriedly. Sister Xiang was still a rich man's wife a few years ago. How can she do extreme sports? Don't fall again. How did Uncle Dong communicate with the production crew? This is too much. Tao secretly sent a WeChat message to Uncle Dong to complain. She told Uncle Dong about how the program crew wanted Chu Xiang to make a fool of herself. Uncle Dong did not expect this show to be so exciting. It is not easy for him to get Chu Xiang to appear on this show. If she wants to be popular, she will have to endure hardships. Uncle Dong can only ask Tao to take care of Chu Xiang and turn on the live broadcast to watch Chu Xiang. Chu Xiang does not know what the audience is thinking, and she does not care. After the recording started, Dong Xuebing warmed up her wrists and ankles, stretching her muscles and bones. At the same time, she is observing the terrain and simulating the best route to climb. Chu Xiang is serious about her acting. Her acting had improved and I was fooled by her. She is still warming up? Don't be too scared to take a single step. It will be so embarrassing. Stop arguing. Watch Brother Dong and Liao Zhe. Don't bother about them. Anyway, she is here to disrupt Brother Dong's live broadcast, and I will turn against her. Count me in to hate Chu Xiang. She is too ignorant. She is on the hot searches, and I can even see her on the live broadcast. So annoying. Dong Boheo finished warming up and said to them, I will go first. I will show you all what I can do. Chu Xiang smiled. Okay, Brother Dong, all the best. See you at the finish line. Liao Zhe's face is pale, and he is not in the mood to talk. Dong Boheo put on his goggles and gave them an okay sign. He then followed the staff to the starting point. Chu Xiang looks at Liao Zhe and asked, "Are you really scared? Why don't you give up and watch from below? Don't force yourself if you don't want to do it." Liao Zhe shook his head. "It's fine. Why don't you go first? I might be slow, and I will be last." "Okay. I will go first." Chu Xiang ran to the cliff and asked the staff to check her equipment. Is Chu Xiang crazy? Liao Zhe is participating in this show. How can he watch from the side? If you don't want to do it, don't force yourself. Ha. I will see how long she can pretend. Actually, Chu Xiang is just worried about Liao Zhe. Is she crazy? She doesn't seem to be scared. Maybe she is brave. Why are you all scolding her? Ah. 1 year ago, she was playing a hanging wire game in this show. She was so scared that she screamed thank you. No one is scolding her maliciously. They just hate her for appearing on this show. I bet Chu Xiang will give up in 5 minutes. I bet 3 points. There was a portion of the audience who hated Chu Xiang. The more comments they sent, the more they started to get into a rhythm. After all, Chu Xiang has been slandered by so many haters for more than a year. The passers-by don't know whether it is true or not, so they have a bad impression of her. When they talk about her, they think of her as a gold digger who relied on traffic to become famous. All the bullet comments are not optimistic about Chu Xiang. When the director saw this, he asked the staff to check Chu Xiang. He whispered, "The effect will come out in 6 minutes. Don't cry or scream. Be strong." Chu Xiang does not say anything about the show's distrust. When he lets go, she steps up the cliff. Her physical fitness is very average now, but wherever she gathers a little spiritual energy, she will have extra strength. She can cheat. It is normal for her to jump up and run on walls. Who would be nervous and scared when eating? At most, she will finish a little worse than before. It is impossible for her to fail. Chu Xiang looks calm. Her hands and feet move nimbly on the cliff. Every time she takes a step, she has to unbuckle the buckle on her waist and hang it on another buckle. At this time, she is relying on her own strength and balance to hold on to the steel buckle. But she is very fast and does not hesitate at all. Dong Boheo missed 2 buckles and unbuckled half of the buckle. She did not have any problems and climbed all the way up the cliff. Who was the one who scared Chu Xiang to tears just now? Why do I feel that she is a professional? Professional is a little too exaggerated. This is very amateur. But compared to the other two, her performance is the best. This is just the beginning, okay? Look how far Brother Dong has gone. I think Chu Xiang will panic when she takes the wrong path. Also, it requires a lot of stamina to climb up. Her arms and legs can't take it anymore. Ha! She is still better than Liao Zhe. Liao Zhe is still hesitating at the starting point. His face is pale. Chu Xiang caught up from behind. Not only did she not take the wrong path, she even took advantage of the moment when Dong Boheo took the wrong path to quickly overtake him and walk to the front. She stopped halfway and wiped her sweat. She leaned back and shouted, "Brother Dong, the path on the left is not right. 5 steps to your right, 10 steps to your left, 5 steps to your right, and 5 steps to your left. Then, walk towards me." Dong Xiuebing nodded and said, "Brother Dong, the path on the left is not right." Dong Boheo looks at Dong Boheo. He had listened to her and changed his path. He gave Chu Xiang a thumbs up. He was panting and could not say anything. He could only look at the camera on his head. Chu Xiang is out of my expectations. I thought I will be laughing at Liao Zhe when we reach the finish line. But Chu Xiang beat me to it. Are all the girls nowadays so strong? Luckily, I don't have a wife. If not, I will be under her control. Brother Dong was overtaken by a girl. Chu Xiang, don't give up. Don't let Brother Dong laugh at Liao Zhe. Damn. Liao Zhe is not up yet. He is too afraid of heights. The production team is so bad. I feel sorry for Liao Zhe. Am I the only one who thinks Chu Xiang is very cool? She is so daring. I want a sister like her to bring me out to play. Chapter 33. Chu Xiang successfully reached the finish line, and was the first to do so. The staff asked her how she felt. Chu Xiang took a sip of water and smiled. It's fun. It's just a short zero. Short zero short. Her what? The wind was too loud, I didn't hear it clearly. Ha ha ha. She really reached the finish line. Where are the people who bet that she would give up in a few minutes? Did they get slapped in the face? If it were me, I would be scared to death. Chu Xiang is really not afraid. Look at her hands, they are not shaking at all. She even dared to lean back just now. I was scared to death. If I were there, I would definitely be like Liao Zhe. Haha, don't mention Liao Zhe. He is paralyzed like a dead dog and has completely given up. His fear of heights is really understandable. Chu Xiang will ruin the show if she doesn't go. She is too weak and doesn't know her place. Liao Zhe is pardonable if he doesn't go. Is there a need to have such strong double standards? Is there such a big prejudice? I don't know if those people who turned anti-me are still anti-me. Anyway, I feel that Chu Xiang is much better than I thought. Why did I feel that she was not good before? Assistant Gao Chao showed the director the comments. Director, I didn't expect Chu Xiang to be so good. She has become the main attraction of this episode, and the number of viewers is increasing. The director nodded with satisfaction. It's better than expected. Later, give Chu Xiang more screen time and less for Liao Zhe. Uncle Dong was also surprised by Chu Xiang's performance. He pressed the internal line of the Public Relations Department and said, "Release the prepared statement and promote Chu Xiang's live broadcast." Okay, immediately. The Public Relations Department had already prepared, and was just waiting for Uncle Dong to find the best time. Xingyao's official Weibo released an official statement to clarify that the person who had dinner with Chu Xiang was the president of Xingyao, and that the two were only talking about signing a contract. They also said that Chu Xiang had officially made a comeback, and was participating in the live broadcast of Xiong. The official Weibo of artist Xiong was the first to forward it, and then dozens of big Vs who received red packets from Xingyao's Public Relations Department forwarded it one after another. All the major entertainment media saw that Lian Ran also wanted to forward it. When Uncle Dong saw Chu Xiang's performance on the show, he directly asked someone to buy a trending topic: Chu Xiang's rock climbing comeback in Celebrity Bear. Originally, when these netizens saw that Chu Xiang was on the hot search list, they didn't have a good impression of her and didn't want to see Chu Xiang anymore. However, when this hot search came out, it immediately aroused everyone's curiosity. What the hell was a rock climbing comeback? Chu Xiang looks so cute and sweet. Did she go rock climbing? Many people had seen Celebrity Don't Bear before. It was a funny show that would definitely not make the guests feel comfortable during the live broadcast. Many people turned on the live broadcast to see what Chu Xiang was doing on the show. The moment they saw it, they were attracted. It was such a dangerous rock climb. Chu Xiang had already reached the finish line? Why were there still Chu Xiang's handsome Chu Xiang exploding in the bullet screen? This contrast made the netizens stay to watch the show. Chu Xiang's haters also rushed to the battlefield at the first moment, and began to curse without even watching. A group of Chu Xiang's fans also watched quietly. They didn't dare to fight with the haters. Occasionally they would say, "I miss Xiang so much. Xiang has finally made a comeback." The behavior of the haters aroused the disgust of many viewers. Some of them had a bad temper and quarreled with the haters. Some of them were annoyed and turned off the bullet screen. Some of them sympathized with Chu Xiang because of the haters. However, everyone was watching the show and it was the real number of views. Chu Xiang rested for a while. When Dong Boheo reached the finish line, she gave Dong Boheo a towel and mineral water. "Brother Dong, do you want to continue?" Dong Boheo panted and nodded. "Yes. Do you think I'm old?" He waved his hand. "I can do anything with you." Chu Xiang held back her laughter. "That's right. You are old, but your heart is young. Your imagination is invincible." "Ah, your imagination is invincible. That's right. Brother Dong loves Ma Xingkong's imagination the most." Chu Xiang's face is ruined. She had become an abandoned woman. She is not shy when talking to men, and is so proactive. She is indeed different. Enough with the sarcastic haters. If you don't want to watch, get lost. Chu Xiang exploding. I want to see Chu Xiang walk the tightrope. Haha, don't fall to your death. In the program, Chu Xiang and Dong Boheo had reached the edge of the tightrope. As the host, Dong Boheo must set an example and go up first. But before he could catch his breath, he was so tired that his face was red, and his fans were worried about whether he could make it. I feel sorry for Brother Dong. Brother Dong, don't go up. It's not easy for you to climb all the way here. Brother Dong, promise me. Let's just imagine. Don't do it again. The program crew came out to take a beating. Even if Brother Dong is old, he is still old. Chu Xiang has been checking the equipment and looking at Dong Boheo. After checking, she stepped forward. This seems to be more fun. Brother Dong, let me go first. I can't wait. Dong Boheo confirmed. Do you really dare? It's a bottomless abyss below. If you go back halfway, you have to walk back. The program crew won't care. Chu Xiang raised her eyebrows and said, Brother Dong, don't worry. I'm so dark. Even the abyss doesn't want me. Let's go. Chu Xiang walked up the tightrope without hesitation. Only a horizontal rod hanging in front of her could help her balance. But if she really fell, she would be hanging in the abyss like hanging on a wire. Or she would have to hold the rod with both hands to test her arm strength. There is nothing stable. Chu Xiang gathered a little spiritual energy in her feet and walked very steadily. A gust of wind blew over, and the tightrope shook. All the audience held their breaths and even forgot to send the bullet screen comments. Chu Xiang paused and continued walking. There was even a smile at the corner of her mouth. Damn, I've lost. I'm a man, but I don't dare. Chu Xiang can do it. Chu Xiang is so warm. Seeing that Brother Dong hasn't recovered, she deliberately can't wait so that Brother Dong can rest for a while. I've become a fan. What kind of miserable devastation did Chu Xiang go through in the past year? Why did she change so much? She's revealing her true nature, right? How weak and innocent can someone from the orphanage be? She used to set up a persona. Now that she knows she can't do it, she set up a new persona. Can't you see? Are you crazy? Did the orphanage offend you? No matter what persona Chu Xiang set up, it's not as vicious as you. Is it easy to be a keyboard warrior? Brainless idiot. It was really the first time Chu Xiang had experienced an extreme event. She felt that it was quite fun. Although she didn't have any cultivation now, the feeling of walking in the air brought back many beautiful memories. She couldn't help but smile. However, the tightrope was so short that it took her only a few minutes to walk to the end and back again. She was a little unhappy. Chu Xiang looked back at the tightrope again. Dong Boheo had already walked up. She could only sit aside and wait. Her eyes were full of regret. If I'm not wrong, does Chu Xiang want to walk it again? Maybe she wants to walk it a few more times. So what if she knows how to climb a tightrope? She's still a gold digger. Instead of being a good idol, she married into a rich family. Now she's been reduced to working hard. Is it because she can't sing and dance anymore? She deserves it. Get lost, get lost, get lost. Chu Xiang has 8 lifetimes of bad luck to be associated with you haters. Chu Xiang, I'm your fan. Work hard and slap them in the face. Liao Zhe was looking up from the ground with a pair of binoculars. His face was pale. Chu Xiang and Brother Dong are ruthless people. Why can't they live well? Why are they risking their lives to film this show? Are you going up to meet them? We can take the cable car. No. I will never take the cable car for the rest of my life. I will wait for them on the ground. That's right. I am afraid of heights. Stop persuading me. If you continue to persuade me, I will bite you. Oh, give me a walkie-talkie. Liao Zhe took the walkie-talkie and looked at it. Let Chu Xiang listen. Chu Xiang, can you come down first? It's boring for me to walk alone. Brother Dong is the one who suggested this idea. Let him walk slowly. Let's go to the diving spot first. There are only 2 episodes of the show, and if Dong Boheo wants to appear on the stage more, he must make it more interesting. Chu Xiang stood up. All right. We will swim a few laps in the water first. Brother Dong can accompany the birds in the sky. Let's see if he will do this again. Wait for me. I will be down soon. Liao Zhe switched off the walkie-talkie and said to the camera. How soon can you be? I will get something to eat first. It is so high up, and even if she takes the cable car, she will need to ride for at least half an hour. Why should she go up? Chu Xiang pointed to the bungee jumping platform not far away and said to the staff, I will go down from there. It will be more convenient for me to look for Brother Liao on the boat. Let's go. The staff did not react in time and saw Dong Xuebing leaving. Two of them followed her. Originally, the bungee jumping was prepared in advance, but because Chu Xiang had changed the event, they didn't do it. Now that Chu Xiang was there, they could start immediately. There was already a speedboat on the lake below. The director quickly said, Get 2 people to film in the air. Ask the cameraman to film Chu Xiang's expression. Ask Chu Xiang if she wants to shout out her heartfelt words. Chu Xiang had tied the rope to her body and heard the staff's question. She knew this will be a highlight. Recently, everyone is paying attention to her divorce. Then let's create some hype. Dong Xuebing held a large banana leaf in each hand and fell forward when the staff was ready. Scumbag, get out of here. Old Witch Lin will never see you again. Chu Xiang's resounding voice reverberated throughout the valley, and everyone heard her words clearly. She held the banana leaf in both hands like a pair of wings, and with indomitable courage, she swooped down into the valley, then bounced up and soared into the sky. All of Chu Xiang's postures were beautiful and attracted everyone's attention. Those 2 sentences of hers seemed to have brought everyone into her sorrow. Yet they also carried with them a boundless sense of freedom. It was as if she had abandoned countless troubles with this jump and no longer had any entanglements with the Lin family. This was her first stop in her comeback, and also her rebirth. I'm Chu Xiang's fan now. I don't care what she was like in the past. I like the Chu Xiang now. My heart aches. I'm crying. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm crying. How deep does scumbag Lin Sanshang think Chu Xiang? How humiliating is it to be a substitute? She must have been tortured by Old Witch Lin. Otherwise, why would she be so unhappy in those photos? My heart aches. I'm her fan. Tell those scumbags to get lost. Xiang, you can do it. You have us. We've never left. We'll always be your fans. One day Chu Xiang fan, forever Chu Xiang fan. Liao Zhe heard Chu Xiang shout and looked up. His eyes widened and he spat out a mouthful of water. I only knew that she was going to come down soon, but I didn't expect her to come down like this. Quick, support me. My legs are weak. Chapter 34. Chu Xiang swung a few times in the valley, and the staff lowered the rope for Chu Xiang to land on the speedboat. When the staff asked her how she felt, Chu Xiang gave a thumbs up to the camera and smiled. I feel great. Is it time for diving next? Let's go and look for Brother Liao. The speedboat turned around and sped toward the shore. Chu Xiang took off her helmet, and her shoulder-length curly hair was blown up by the wind, fluttering behind her head. Many people had taken screenshots of Dong Xuebing smiling happily. This is what everyone wants to be like when they are troubled. When Chu Xiang reached the shore, Liao Zhe took the initiative to pull her up. He looked at her with eyes full of admiration and exclaimed, Sister Xiang, you're too awesome. Mine, it's really too awesome. Chu Xiang replied, Brother Liao, I am better than you. Liao Zhe shook his head. I must call you Sister Xiang. You had opened my eyes today. At first, I was thinking that the production team must be crazy to ask me to do the aerial photography. But I realized you are super manly. You have to accept me calling you Sister Xiang. Chu Xiang did not mind. She covered her forehead with her hand and looked at Dong Boheo. Brother Dong is only halfway there. Let's go to the diving spot first. Let's eat something to replenish our energy. I am tired. Liao Zhe nodded. Let's leave this place. I will never come here again. I am also tired. Although I did not do anything, and you might not believe me, I am so tired. Chu Xiang smiled and walked to the car. She asked the staff for a pen and paper. Let's write a note to Brother Dong. Tell him we are leaving first. What should we write? Chu Xiang wrote on the paper. Brother Dong, you have worked hard. Sometimes it is easier to imagine. We will wait for you at the diving spot. She even drew a heart at the end of the note. Liao Zhe laughed. This is good. This is good. Piss him off. Who told him to mess with us? Let him tire himself out like an old cow. Let's go to the beach and enjoy the sunshine. Let's go. Chu Xiang pasted the note in the most conspicuous place, put on her sunglasses, and got into the car. The diving spot was not far away. The two of them ordered a bunch of food and drinks in the car. Liao Zhe's expression finally returned to normal. He felt that the two of them were really going to enjoy the beach. Sorry, I laughed. This is the first time Brother Dong deserves sympathy since he started streaming. Haha. Brother Dong had pranked his guests so many times, and he had finally met his match. He thought he was the king, but he didn't expect to become bronze in front of Chu Xiang. Chu Xiang is so funny. Does she have any other variety shows? Think about it. This is Xiang Xiang's first time participating in a variety show. Thank you for liking her. Heart. Chu Xiang has cleared her name after bungee jumping? You guys are really easy to coax. Chu Xiang's fans are all brainless. Have you forgotten how she abandoned you for money? What's the use of supporting her? She might quit one day. Don't cry then. A Xiang fan for a day, a Xiang fan for life. What was there to clear Xiang Xiang's name? She had never been a hater. So what if she got married? So what if she quit the entertainment industry? Did she sell herself to you? Can't she choose her own life? A Xiang fan for a day, a Xiang fan for life. All of you haters are just jealous. You all don't have Xiang Xiang's looks, popularity, and experience. You all have nothing. You all can only be a keyboard warrior online. Trash. A Xiang fan for a day, a Xiang fan for life. Xiang Xiang's jump gave us the courage to fight the haters. Even if we are the only Xiang fan left, we must fight the haters. At this point in the program, the haters could no longer bring up the pace. Chu Xiang's impact was too strong, making it impossible for people to hate her along with the haters. Instead, because of the haters and Mo Min's strange scolding, people began to wonder what Chu Xiang had done to anger people. Even if she had married into a rich family for money, she had not done anything wrong. So many of her fans left her and came back to criticize her. She can be so emotional. What about these haters? They were just scolding for the sake of scolding. They vented so much malice on Chu Xiang. They were simply a bunch of idiots. When things reach an extreme, they can only move in the opposite direction. The haters have been scolding Chu Xiang for so long, but no one spoke up for Chu Xiang. Now that Chu Xiang had made a comeback, she appeared in front of everyone with such a strong contrast. Everyone's first thought was that she had been scolded too unjustly. At this moment, He Zi came to make his presence known. Everyone's disgust towards He Zi turned into sympathy and fondness for Chu Xiang. There were many who spoke up for Chu Xiang, and it was unknown how many people had become her fans. Chu Xiang and Liao Zhe went to the beach. They lay on the deck chairs under the sun umbrella and ate ripple cakes, enjoying the cool sea breeze. The director used the storyboard to broadcast the scene of them and Dong Boheo at the same time. Dong Boheo finally finished walking the tightrope and collapsed on the ground, panting heavily. His face was red and sweating profusely. He formed a strong contrast with Chu Xiang and the others. The bullet screen was full of ha 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 ha, and was overjoyed. When Dong Boheo took the cable car down the mountain and saw the note, Chu Xiang and the others had already eaten their fill and changed into diving suits. Although the skin of the original owner wasn't tight enough, it was still protruding in the right places. After wearing the tight diving suit, the scene of her swimming in the water was especially beautiful. Liao Zhe held the coach's hand while diving. His posture was stiff and his heart was heavy, but in the end he succeeded. He turned around to look at Chu Xiang, but found that Chu Xiang was like a mermaid. She swam freely in the water, and even reached out to touch the colorful fish. She was many times better than him. Several cameras in the water perfectly recorded these scenes and broadcasted them. Everyone saw Chu Xiang's beautiful figure. She looked like she had returned home in the water. She swam around and played with the fish from time to time. She even passed through a large coral cave. She was like a fish in water. I'm really a fan of Chu Xiang. This scene is too beautiful. Isn't she like a mermaid? I really hope that she's not wearing black tights but mermaid scales. Chu Xiang is already very beautiful. I can't help but admire her looks. It's just that she hasn't taken care of herself in the past year. I feel that she looks a little old in the close-up view of her bungee jumping. Her skin doesn't look very good. How can the young mistress of a rich family not take care of herself? I think she's being tortured. Scumbag Lin, and Mo-san, that old witch, come out and take a beating. By the way, what kind of businesses does Scumbag Lin own? I've decided to boycott Lin's products and support Chu Xiang. This is good. Scumbag Lin is already disgusting. I'll boycott Lin's products too. Count me in. Boycott Lin's. The haters were still criticizing, but no one cared. Now Chu Xiang's fans and passers-by were talking about her. Some people were even listening to her songs while watching the live broadcast. After Chu Xiang swam 3 or 4 laps, Dong Boheo finally arrived. He swam 2 laps with Liao Zhe, and then came out of the water with one hand holding Liao Zhe, and the other holding Chu Xiang. They waved at the camera together. Dong Boheo laughed loudly. We did it. Today's challenge was a success. There's nothing we can't do. Liao Zhe sneakily pushed Dong Boheo into the water and shouted, I will never come back to this show again. Brother Dong, compensate me for my emotional distress. Chu Xiang did not say anything. She only smiled at the camera and dived into the water again. This time, the live broadcast ended with Dong Boheo and Liao Zhe fighting and Chu Xiang swimming around them. When the video stopped, everyone thought of 3 words. Life is peaceful. The 3 of them were overjoyed, and the audience who were watching the 3 of them were also overjoyed. Brother Dong's fans, who were angry at the start, came out to apologize. I should not be biased against Sister Xiang. I did not expect her to be so good. She also got along well with Brother Dong. I am so stupid. I did not expect the haters to make me look at Sister Xiang differently. Today I am Sister Xiang's fan. I hope Sister Xiang will come back to Brother Dong's show again. I am the one who bet on Sister Xiang to give up in 3 minutes. Don't look at Sister Xiang. Now I only want to know. How nice. Thank you for liking Xiang Xiang. I am so happy that everyone likes Xiang Xiang. I am not lying to you. I am really crying. This year, Xiang Xiang has been through a lot. My heart aches for her. Xiang Xiang, I love you. We Xiang Xiang fans will always be by your side. All the best. This live broadcast was a great success for Chu Xianglai. The program team was also very surprised. They were already thinking of inviting Chu Xiang to participate in the show again. Also, the people who were face to face with Chu Xiang could feel the magic in her. It was the magic that made people involuntarily chase after her. The director of the program felt that Chu Xiang was very likely to become popular again, and the popularity would not be any worse than a year ago. At that time, as the start of Chu Xiang's comeback, the number of views of Celebrity Xiong Xiong would definitely reach a peak. Today, Xingyao bought the hot search and brought their show up. This was a big surprise. The entire program team's attitude towards Chu Xiang was much better. Everyone laughed and laughed along the way. It was very lively. Dong Boheo treated Chu Xiang and Liao Zhe to a seafood feast. Although Chu Xiang was working out, she did not control herself at all in this kind of situation. She directly helped them to peel prawns and crabs. She ate a lot, and the shells in front of her were piled up into a mountain. Her way of not rejecting and not making people feel awkward suddenly shortened the distance between the 3 of them. Moreover, they were artists from the same company. After chatting for a while, they called each other senior brother and junior sister, and even exchanged contact information. Dong Boheo smiled at Chu Xiang. I think that if you come to my show, I can save some energy. Why don't you come again next time? Chu Xiang gladly agreed. Of course it's good that I can come. I watched a lot of Brother Dong's live broadcasts yesterday. It's so interesting. Many people have thought about what you do, but no one will really do it. No wonder so many people like to watch it. That's great. I'll invite you when the time comes. Don't refuse. Brother Dong, don't worry. I'll accompany you to outer space. Liao Zhe shook his head while eating. Junior sister, you're still too young. This old man will definitely trick you. Just wait and see. Dong Boheo put his arm around his neck and laughed. He'll trick you too. Don't even think about running away. When Chu Xiang returned to the apartment, She was so tired that she did not even want to move her fingers. She collapsed in the bathtub and soaked in the medicinal bath while listening to the voice message sent by Uncle Dong. The effect of today's live broadcast is very good. I'll contact a variety show with a resident MC for you. You should post a post on Weibo so that your fans can have a place to vent their feelings. It was Chu Xiang's first time posting on Weibo. She found the photo of her smiling carefreely on the speedboat and posted it with a caption, "Babies, I'm back. I'll always be here." Chapter 35. As soon as Chu Xiang's Weibo was posted, many people who were looking at the trending topics saw it. Her Xiang fans rushed to the scene immediately and cheered for her. Of course, the haters came as well, but Uncle Dong paid for Chu Xiang to control the comments and didn't let the haters attack Chu Xiang's Weibo again. Many passers-by who had watched the live broadcast and became Chu Xiang's fans came to leave comments, supporting her comeback. They all hoped that she would appear on more shows. With Lu Rao's comments mixed in, the haters finally lost after a year of defaming Chu Xiang. Chu Xiang's Weibo was filled with joy. Chu Xiang soaked in the bathtub and browsed through everyone's comments. Then, she deleted all the Weibo posts that the original owner had posted, leaving only this one. This one represented her comeback and Chu Xiang's new life. From now on, she would be completely different from the Chu Xiang of the past. She would walk on a brilliant path of gold. Hashtag Chu Xiang's comeback. Hashtag this trending topic was all based on Chu Xiang's popularity. When one clicked on it, one could see that everyone was discussing Chu Xiang's extreme live broadcast. Many people guessed that she deleted her Weibo to bid farewell to her past self. Some people also guessed what she had experienced in the past year. But the most eye-catching thing was that many people posted a sentence. "Scumbag 3, get out of here. Old Witch Lin will never see you again." The three people in this sentence were frequently mentioned, and actually made it to the trending topic. It was very straightforwardly called hashtag Scumbag 3, Old Witch Lin hashtag. Seeing this, Uncle Dong released the video of Chu Xiang being interviewed by a group of reporters in the ward. In the video, they could clearly see that Chu Xiang had signed the divorce agreement and left with nothing. They could also clearly feel Chu Xiang's heartfelt disdain for Scumbag Lin. The netizens liked to gossip when they were bored. Previously, the video of Chu Xiang's ward had appeared, but it had been deleted completely. Many people didn't see it, and only saw the comparison between Chu Xiang and Mo Xinru. Chu Xiang had lost miserably. There was also the news of her buying medicine suspected of infertility, and committing suicide for love. This time, everyone realized that the situation seemed to have reversed, so they were all interested and watched Chu Xiang's video. Normal people wouldn't like Scumbag 3. After seeing Chu Xiang leaning on the hospital bed with a pale face, everyone instinctively sympathized with her. Coupled with the fact that her husband had an affair with his ex-lover and forced her to leave with nothing, Scumbag 3 was even more disgusting. Chu Xiang's fans were very supportive and posted more than 10 photos of Chu Xiang doing charity work in the old people's home. In the photos, Chu Xiang had a sweet smile and was interacting with the old people warmly and lovingly. It was obvious that the old people were also smiling happily when facing her. It wasn't a pose at all. This was the problem. Chu Xiang respected and loved the old people so much. If she could call old Madam Lin, it definitely meant that old Madam Lin was a perverted old madam. It wasn't strange for a celebrity to be dumped, but the feud between rich families was enough to make people crazily watch dramas. What was the love and hate between Lin Jiawei and Mo Xinru? Why did Mo Xinru abandon Lin Jiawei and go abroad? What charm did she have to make Lin Jiawei let bygones be bygones? What kind of feudal, serious, and perverted old madam was old Madam Lin? What kind of horrible rules and tortures did she use to torture Chu Xiang? The imagination of netizens was endless. After everyone discussed it, they became more interested. Many people even went to Chu Xiang's Weibo to leave comments asking if their guess was right. This popularity was actually comparable to Chu Xiang's comeback. There were also people who dug out that Chu Xiang was banned by Lin Jiawei, which made the netizens' impression of Lin Jiawei even worse. Chu Xiang definitely took advantage of it, and her popularity reached a new high. The Lin family and Emo Shinru were miserable. Their high and mighty image collapsed in an instant, and they became synonymous with low moral standards and cheap men and women. Emo Shinru's cousin called her in the middle of the night and was shocked. "Sister, do you know that you're on the hot search list? So many people are scolding you. How did you do it? Didn't Brother Joey ban that woman?" Emo Shinru was stunned and frowned. "Ja, what are you talking about? Be clear." "It's the hot search list on Weibo. Sister, take a look. I can't say those nasty words to you. It's all Chu Xiang's fault. She came back today and scolded you and Brother Jiawei. She even scolded Brother Jiawei's grandmother. Take a look." "Okay, I'll hang up first." Emo Shinru hung up the phone and checked the hot search list. The first one was Chu Xiang's comeback, and the third was Chu Xiang's comeback. She clicked on it and looked at it. There were all kinds of netizens and the comments were messy. She frowned again. She felt that they were all congratulating Chu Xiang on her comeback and asking Chu Xiang to get out of the entertainment industry. What did it have to do with her? She was not interested in Chu Xiang's situation. She exited and looked at the hot search list. At a glance, she saw 3 old demonic women of scumbags. She thought of Zhu Yujia's words and her heart skipped a beat. She immediately clicked on it and saw that it was all scolding her, Lin Jiawei, and Old Man Lin. Emo Shinru, a rich girl, is lacking 3. She even forced the legal wife out and asked Lin Jiawei to blacklist the legal wife. She's so shameless. She's a role model of the 3 realms. Third Emo is not only 3. She's also a big white lotus. She dumped Lin Jiawei and went abroad to study. Lin Jiawei married a substitute and doted on her. Now she's back to seduce Lin Jiawei back. Lin Jiawei is also quite despicable. What a pair of despicable people. Old demonic woman Lin taught scumbag Lin, and the shameless ex-lover. TSK, they're a perfect match. I beg them to stay together. Don't harm others. In my mind, old demonic woman Lin is a shriveled old witch with slanted eyes. Scumbag Emo is a pretentious beauty who seduces men. Scumbag Lin is an egomaniac, narcissist, and disgusting toad. Huh. Emo Shinru looked at the comments on the internet in shock. Her head was buzzing and she didn't know how to react. She was born with a golden spoon in her mouth. Her father was worth billions. She had been pampered since she was young. When had she ever been scolded like this? This was a blatant humiliation. Lin Jiawei walked out of the shower while drying his hair. Seeing her expression, he asked with concern, "What's wrong? Did something happen?" Emo Shinru handed the phone to him and asked in a questioning tone, "Didn't you blacklist Chu Xiang? Why did she come back? Why did she do this to me? There are places in the entertainment industry that I can't touch. She probably used someone else's method to come back. Did she do it to you?" Lin Jiawei took the phone and sat beside her. He was a little surprised when he saw the dirty words on the screen. He swiped the screen and saw almost 100 comments. The comments that were scolding Chu Xiang back then seemed to have been transferred to their side. One was worse than the other. There was almost no one who spoke up for them. The word scumbag and 3 old demonic women were shocking. However, he didn't care about the trolls online. Even if they scolded him, it wouldn't affect him. He turned off the phone and reached out to hug Emo Shinru. He comforted her. "Don't worry about them. I'll get someone to delete those comments later. The internet will be clean." He intimately stuck to Emo Shinru and carried her to the bed. Emo Shinru pushed him away and said unhappily, "Didn't you see how those people scolded me? How can I not care? Get someone to delete it now. This is all your fault. If I wasn't with you, I wouldn't have to suffer like this." "Who's the third?" "You're not. Chu Xiang is the third. I've always loved you. Don't you know that? I've never had a change of heart all these years. Then why did you marry Chu Xiang?" "Shinru, be fair. At that time, you said that you wanted to live abroad and had a new boyfriend. I married Chu Xiang because I was disheartened. I just wanted to have someone like you at home. At least, it would be a comfort. Didn't we already talk about this? When you came back and said that the person you really loved was me, I was really happy. I immediately divorced her. I didn't have anything to do with her." Emo Shinru felt better when she saw how anxious he was to explain, but she was still very uncomfortable. She grabbed a pillow and stuffed it into his arms. Go to the study. Don't go back to the room to sleep if you don't settle these things. Lin Jiawei helplessly went to the study to sleep. He was upset and turned on his tablet to check what had happened today. He saw that Chu Xiang had signed with Zhou Ye's company. He looked up Chu Xiang's news with a sullen face, and saw that Chu Xiang and Zhou Yi had a meal together right after their divorce. The two of them were laughing, and there were even news articles speculating if they were in a relationship. Lin Jiawei frowned. Chu Xiang could have done anything. Why did she have to go to Zhou Ye's company? She knew that he had a conflict with Zhou Yi. Was she deliberately going to his enemy's company? He didn't care about these things at first, but it was different with Zhou Yi involved. Chu Xiang was a has-been idol. It was definitely Zhou Ye's doing that she could make such a high-profile comeback. What could Zhou Yi do it for? Could it be for Chu Xiang's popularity? No one knew Chu Xiang better than him. Chu Xiang had been a housewife for a year. She had lost the light in her eyes. Even the youthful vitality when they first met was gone. She was useless. Why would Zhou Yi support Chu Xiang? The only reason Zhou Yi did this was to humiliate him. Lin Jiawei called his special assistant and asked him to solve the mess on the internet immediately. Thinking of Chu Xiang, he frowned and ordered, "Go and find Chu Xiang. Give her a sum of money and warn her not to say anything she shouldn't say." Then he instructed the servants in the house to keep it a secret and not let old Madame Lin know about this. After doing all this, he felt inexplicably irritated. It was like raising a cute cat, but now the cat went crazy and scratched people. If he had known it would be so troublesome, he wouldn't have contacted Chu Xiang. It was really ugly. Chu Xiang massaged herself in the bathtub and used her spiritual energy to absorb the medicinal effects of the herbs before getting up. She washed the ointment off her face and looked at herself in the mirror. Her skin was a little better, but she still needed to keep it up. She rubbed her whole body with the skin cream she made herself, then wrapped herself in a bathrobe and went back to the bedroom. Every time she used spiritual energy, medicinal bath, ointment, skin cream, and decoction, her skin was getting better. It wouldn't be long before she could regain her youth and beauty. Ding-ling, the doorbell rang 3 times. Chu Xiang went to open the door with a cup of water. When she saw the man, she thought for a moment and remembered that this man was Li Tezu, Lin Jiawei's personal assistant. She raised her eyebrows. "What's the matter?" Li Tezu took out a check and handed it over. He smiled formally and said, "Sister Chu, what happened today made Boss Lin very unhappy. This is for you. Boss Lin hopes that you will be careful with your words and actions in the future." Chapter 36. The two artistes who had just returned saw this scene, and were both embarrassed and curious. They happened to live next door to Chu Xiang and pretended that they couldn't find the keys when they were looking for them. They stood there with their backs to them, and their ears perked up. Chu Xiang crossed her arms and leaned against the door. She glanced at the check with a faint smile. 5 million. She took out her phone from her bathrobe pocket and dialed Lin Jiawei's number. She smiled. "Mr. Lin is so generous. I'm guessing that San must be unhappy after seeing the news, so she's willing to give me 5 million to shut me up." "Oh, wrong, San is no longer San. She's now Mr. Lin's fiancé." Lin Jiawei said coldly. "Chu Xiang, what are you trying to do?" "What am I trying to do? Let me see, I just want to make a comeback and be a big star. But Mr. Lin, you just have to ban me. Since you're making things difficult for me, then you and your people can forget about being happy. Besides, I didn't lie at all. You deserve the scolding this time." Chu Xiang took a sip of water leisurely and smiled when she saw that the two artistes were still eavesdropping. Lin Jiawei took a deep breath and said indifferently, "Take the money. You're on your own." Chu Xiang looked at the check in Li Tezu's hand and poured a glass of water on it. Li Tezu immediately stepped back and threw away the soaked check. The two artistes exclaimed and turned around to look at them with their eyes wide open. Chu Xiang said regretfully, "What a beautiful check. Why can't I take it? Li Tezu, remember to take away the trash you threw away. Our apartment is very hygienic." She then said into the phone, "Mr. Lin, I can't take your dirty money. Take it and give it to the old witch. Remember, I'm the most vengeful person. If you ban me and cut off my source of income, your career won't be smooth either. Chu Xiang hung up the phone and blocked all of Lin Jiawei's methods. She sighed as she operated. It's a pity that I don't have 5 million. Otherwise, I can ask Li Teza to take it back and tell Lin Jiawei to shut up in the future. Having such an ex-husband is the biggest stain in my life. You guys right? It's late. Good night, everyone. Chu Xiang smiled at the three of them, closed the door, and went back inside. The two artists finally took out their keys and opened the door. They smiled awkwardly at Li Tezu and hurried in. Li Teza glanced at the check on the ground, picked it up, tore it up, and put it in his pocket. He went downstairs and dialed Lin Jiawei's number. Mr. Lin, I'm sorry. It's my fault. What did she do? Sister Chu poured a cup of water on the check and, what? Having you as her ex-husband is the biggest stain in her life. It's a pity that she doesn't have money. Otherwise, she would have given you a $5 million check to shut up. Li Tezu immediately shut up after repeating Chu Xiang's words. Lin Jiawei immediately hung up, his expression extremely ugly. He was infuriated by Chu Xiang's actions. No matter how sharp a cat's claws were, it was impossible for her to win. He wanted to see what abilities Chu Xiang had. Lin Jiawei didn't delete many of the comments. Zhou Ye's side wasn't any worse than his, so not many people would offend Zhou Yi for Lin Jiawei. However, Lin Jiawei asked Li Tezu to keep an eye on Chu Xiang and not let her have an easy time if there was a chance. Zhou Yi couldn't protect Chu Xiang for long. By then, would Chu Xiang still be able to jump around? Lin Jiawei had never seen Chu Xiang after she transmigrated. His impression of Chu Xiang was still the innocent girl who loved him very much. He thought that Chu Xiang was venting her anger now and didn't know how to take advantage of Zhou Ye's support. He was never in a hurry to deal with such a person because he knew from the beginning that the other party wasn't his match. On Zhou Ye's side, Lin Jiawei's deepest impression of Chu Xiang's words was that your career won't be smooth either. He couldn't help but think of a conspiracy theory and suspect that Zhou Yi was going to deal with him. He almost didn't sleep the whole night and kept investigating the possibility of a business war. The only two witnesses to this incident were the artists who lived next door to Chu Xiang. The two girls weren't even 20 years old and were trainees in the company. They specialized in singing and dancing, so they had always admired Chu Xiang and expected better from her. However, the scene just now really made their blood boil. Chu Xiang was really too cool. The two of them couldn't hide their thoughts and immediately shared what they saw with their good friends. Their good friends naturally shared it with other good friends as well. In just one night, nearly 100 university students and C-list celebrities knew about this incident. It was possible that it would slowly spread out. Chu Xiang went to bed early to rest and sleep. She didn't care about what happened on the internet. She had a plan for the future. The illusory things on the internet couldn't affect her life in reality. The next morning, she went to the company for class and training. However, the aftereffects of this incident were far greater than what Chu Xiang thought. Lin Jiawei was in the upper-class circle, where most of the people were young. Everyone casually went online and saw the scolding. After seeing it, they couldn't help but associate it. They would even think of the phrase, "three old witch scum." It was too funny that something like this happened at their level. Lin Jiawei received a few calls from his friends. They were all joking in the name of concern, which made him feel very bad. Even when he was with Emo Shinru, he didn't smile. On the other hand, Emo Shinru received even more greetings. She didn't work, and usually went out to play with the girls in the circle. This time, she didn't even pick up the phone, and threw a tantrum at home. The two of them even quarreled because of this. They both hated Chu Xiang in their hearts. The one who had the biggest reaction was old Madame Lin. Everyone in the villa kept it a secret from her. In the end, it was such a coincidence that she invited a few old ladies for tea. They took it as a joke, and old Madame Lin was so shocked that she lost her composure on the spot. What she couldn't accept the most was being embarrassed in front of so many people. That feeling of embarrassment made her unable to sleep. She called Chu Xiang but couldn't get through. She was so angry that she threw the phone away. She called Lin Jiawei back and scolded him fiercely. "What's wrong with you? You can't even handle Chu Xiang, an orphan girl, and let her make things so ugly? Lin Jiawei was silent for a moment and said, "She's with Zhou Yi now. It's not good for me to touch her. Grandma, don't be angry. If there's a chance in the future, I'll definitely not let her off. Remember, teach her a good lesson. How dare she call me an old witch? I think she's bold." Old Madam Lin was so angry that her chest couldn't stop heaving. She got up and went upstairs. "I'm not eating anymore. I'm full from anger." The two most important people in Lin Jiawei's life were Grandma and Mo Xinru. Now that they were angry with Chu Xiang and vented their anger on him, he was very annoyed. He had never hated Chu Xiang so much. Naturally, he couldn't let Chu Xiang have it easy. He remembered that Mo Xinru had a cousin in the entertainment industry, so he asked Li Teze to contact her. Zhu Yujia was confused when she received Li Teze's call. When she learned that Lin Jiawei wanted to give her a resource and let her be on the same show as Chu Xiang, she immediately understood. Wasn't he asking her to bully Chu Xiang and stand up for Mo Xinru? Of course, that was good. She came from an ordinary family and had always admired her beautiful cousin. She could get resources and stand up for her cousin. It was killing two birds with one stone. Therefore, Lin Jiawei invested a sum of money in outdoor mission and changed one of the third-rate female guests to Zhu Yujia. Zhu Yujia excitedly prepared for the show, and Chu Xiang also strengthened her physical training. In order to look good during the live broadcast, Chu Xiang insisted on boiling medicinal soup, applying it to her face, and taking a medicinal bath every time she was tired. Then, she would go to bed after doing her whole body skincare. When she went on the show 10 days later, Chu Xiang's skin was already tender and smooth. She could compete with an 18-year-old girl without makeup. Her figure had changed slightly. It seemed that there was no difference, but people would think that she looked better and more attractive than before. The fitness coaches and physique teachers in the company were full of praise when they talked about her. Chu Xiang was definitely the first person who could change herself like this in such a short time. This was their successful work. Chu Xiang arrived at the filming location in the afternoon. It was a forest maze. The 5 MCs each invited a guest to participate in the live broadcast. The MC who invited Chu Xiang was a 30-year-old actress named Su Qian. As soon as she saw Chu Xiang, she smiled and shouted, "Disciple, come here. Let your master have a good look." Chu Xiang ran over and took her arm. She smiled and said, "Master, I haven't seen you for a long time. You are still as beautiful and moving as before." The audience watching the live broadcast was a little surprised. Why are Su Qian and Chu Xiang master and disciple? Xiang used to film a TV series with teacher Su, hehe. The fans don't even dare to mention the name of the show. They know that their idol's acting skills are terrible, right? The black-hearted brainless people in front don't come out to show off their IQ. I just want to see Sister Xiang take first place. Black-hearted people, please turn off your microphone. Thank you. My Jiejia is first. My Qin Bao is first. The bullet screen had already begun to be lively. There were 10 people and 10 fans, and their fighting strength was different. But when they were together, they were like a cherry blossom. The 5 MCs introduced the invited guests respectively, and then the program team began to announce the first task of the day. The 10 of them formed 5 groups to compete, and were ranked according to the time they took to get out of the forest maze. It was not enough to just get out. They had to find the show's logo cards hidden in the 5 mazes. The reward was the amount of broadcast after coming out of the maze. The 2 people in first place had the most broadcast, and they would continue to the next task. The number of broadcast would gradually decrease. Once the broadcast time was up, they would be asked to leave the live broadcast. The last place would not have any broadcast time. Moreover, each team had to walk out of the maze within half an hour. Otherwise, they would have to leave after half an hour. Another condition was that in the maze, they could plunder the logo cards of other groups at will. As soon as this condition was announced, the audience immediately boiled over. Hey, they are going to snatch things. It's fun, let's start. Mind, there are 4 women in it. How can they snatch it? Why did Sister Qian find a female guest? The 2 of them will lose for sure. Not necessarily. I watched Chu Xiang's show. Artist Xiong Xiong. I suspect that she can get first place, but I have no evidence. Let's start. Don't stop snatching. Everyone, let's bet on who will win. The 5 MCs wailed at the same time. Program team, are you okay? Can't you just play a game? Why do you have to have such a cruel competition? The director ruthlessly announced directly, start the countdown. Everyone immediately ran to the entrance of the maze. Zhu Yujie ran toward Chu Xiong without a trace and kicked Chu Xiong's leg at the right time. Chapter 37. Chu Xiong had been nourished by Reiki for a long time, so her 5 senses were very sharp. She felt that someone was attacking her and wanted to fight back. But she thought that this was a live broadcast and she couldn't fight back clearly. So she simply gathered all her Reiki on her legs and ran without any defense. Zhu Yujie kicked Chu Xiong's leg hard and screamed. She fell to the ground holding her leg, and her face was wrinkled in pain. Everyone immediately stopped and looked at her. Chu Xiong squatted in front of her and looked at her. She asked, "Are you okay? My legs may be hard after working out these days. Are you hurt?" "Pfft, what do you mean by hurt? Ha ha ha. Hey, what's going on? Who gave it to me? I didn't see it." Their legs were tripped and they ran too close. But is it really that painful? Why do I feel that it should be Chu Xiong who is in pain? The people at the scene were almost amused by Chu Xiong. Su Qian pinched Zhu Yujie's ankle and asked her how she felt. Then she smiled. "It's nothing serious. Maybe it's just a little bit of strength. Why don't you take a rest? Let Qin Bao do the task alone." If she didn't do the task, there would be no screen time. If there was no screen time, it would be a wasted trip. How could Zhu Yujie be willing to do that? She knew that she did it secretly just now. They must have accidentally bumped into each other. She couldn't blame Chu Xiong. So she could only stand up with Qin Bao's hand and move her ankle. She said, "I'm much better. It was really a little bit of strength just now. Sister Chu, I'm sorry. Did I hurt you?" Chu Xiong waved her hand and smiled at her. "I'm fine. I'm rough. Let's go." "Okay, everyone come on." Zhu Yujie hated Chu Xiong in her heart. Didn't that make her seem delicate? She really suffered a double loss. The audience really got this point, and Zhu Yujie's fans immediately exploded. What does Chu Xiong mean? Who's the eccentric one? Chu Xiong is a scheming woman. Her words are full of hidden meanings. No one else can figure it out so quickly. It won't hurt much if you touch it. Am I the only one who paid attention to Chu Xiong's skin? It's so delicate, not rough at all. Did you turn on the beauty filter? The close-up shots of the live stream a few days ago were clearly very rough. What filter is this? Please tell me, I want it, want one. The topic was diverted by the other fans. Zhu Yujie was a C-list celebrity and had few fans. Even if they wanted to argue, they couldn't. They could only hold their breath and watch. Because of the unexpected situation, the program team restarted the countdown. When the whistle blew, everyone immediately ran into the maze. The maze was built with dense tree walls that were 3 meters tall. It was impossible to see what was on the other side of the tree walls. The labyrinth was very spacious, just like a forest. There were trees, flowers, water, and mushrooms. Occasionally 1 or 2 animals could be seen. It was a very beautiful scene. An MC named Liang Zhen had a slow temper. When he saw the mushroom, he walked over to take a closer look. Is this mushroom poisonous? I wonder if I can use it to make mushroom soup. Do you remember what the director said just now? His teammate said anxiously, "Director, this is Private Chengdu. Do you dare to eat it? Who knows if it's poisonous or not? Let's go, we're no longer neighbors." What's the hurry? Qin Bao and the others are behind us. There will be a picnic later. Let's pick something and bring it. There's no hurry. The slow combination of the two of them made a lot of people laugh. Liang Zhen was very slow every time he did a task. When others saw him, they were anxious for him. However, he was lucky. Every time, he could pick up something or accidentally get the task item and win. This time, everyone was curious about what place they could get. Chu Xiong and Su Qian ran past them hand in hand. They were the master-disciple combination. In the show, they were the least favored team. The two of them ran to a fork in the road. Su Qian wanted to run to the left, but was pulled back by Chu Xiang. Chu Xiang said, "We've just passed by that road. Take the right one." Su Qian looked around blankly. "Ah, pass by? Why don't I remember?" Chu Xiang pulled her and ran to the right road. "Trust me, follow me. Look, there's a card on the tree in front." "Where is it? Where is it?" Su Qian looked around with her eyes wide open. She was in a daze, and did not see it until Chu Xiang climbed up the tree in front of her. "Hey, be careful." Chu Xiang used both hands and feet to climb up the tree. She took down the card and looked at it. She smiled at the camera and said, "I found it. It's the first one." Then she quickly slid down the tree trunk to the ground. Su Qian immediately pulled her to look left and right. She was relieved when she saw that she was fine. She gave her a thumbs up and said, "Good job, disciple. Where did you go to learn?" Chu Xiang said mischievously, "I fell into the devil realm and learned it. Now I've become a devil cultivator. Master, if you follow me today, I'll make sure you eat and drink well." Devil cultivator is okay. Sister Xiang is so cool. She's so good at climbing trees. Sister Xiang, take me flying. She's the first one to find the card. That's amazing. Don't be robbed. Come on. Chu Xiang can climb a steel rope. What's so strange about climbing a tree? Maybe it's the result of her not studying hard. She's so cool. Don't teach her bad things. Xiang Xiang is so cool. When Xiang Xiang donated to the orphanage and the nursing home, you were still playing with mud. If you have the ability, you can donate too. I respect you as a good man. Chu Xiang's outstanding performance gave her fans the courage to argue with the haters. It was getting harder and harder for the haters to change the rhythm. It was difficult for them to win the argument. Chu Xiang handed the thumb-sized card to Su Qian and squatted down to pick a bag of mushrooms under the tree. Su Qian held the card nervously. What if someone comes to rob us? Then hide it well. Chu Xiang took off her sunscreen shirt and tied it into a satchel. She put the mushrooms in it and hung it on her body. When she turned around, she saw that Su Qian was still thinking about the card. She directly took it and stuffed it into her underwear. She spread her hands and said, "No one will rob us." Su Qian widened her eyes and said, "Are you serious? I haven't seen you for a year, and you've become so relaxed?" "I can't help it. There are too many bad guys in the devil realm." Chu Xiang joked. She looked at the sun and took Su Qian to turn and move forward. Suddenly, the audience was touched by Chu Xiang. Chu Xiang's devil realm. Could it be the Lin family? Those people in the Lin family are all bad guys. You're thinking too much. But it really does seem like it. It feels like a place with a foul atmosphere. Xiang Xiang is very good. Let's not talk about unhappy things. Look, Xiang Xiang found the second card. There were a total of 25 cards in the maze. Chu Xiang took out a card under a tree wall at a dead end. Only a corner of the card was exposed before. Su Qian was surprised. "My disciple, your observation skills are too strong. You're so careful." Chu Xiang smiled and said, "I must be careful in front of my master. I'm the best disciple in the country." The two ran into Qin Bao, Zhu Yujia, Liang Zhen and his teammates at a fork in the road. Zhu Yujia thought of the rules of snatching things and smiled. "What a coincidence. I dragged Qin Bao down today. I have to find a way to make it up to him. I wonder, have you found the cards?" Zhu Yujia showed a cute smile. But it was obvious that she was up to no good. She wanted to snatch their things. Liang Zhen smiled and said, "I haven't seen what the card looks like. But I dug up a wild vegetable. I don't know if it's delicious." Su Qian also smiled and said, "The program team is too good at hiding. We haven't found the cards after running for so long. But we picked some mushrooms. Let's go. Everyone, continue to search and try to get out of here as soon as possible." Su Qian was about to leave. Zhu Yujia put her hands together and said, "I'm sorry." She suddenly pounced on Chu Xiang, who was closest to her. "Sister Chu, I really want to make it up to Qin Bao. Let's snatch one." Chu Xiang leaned back to avoid her claws. She raised her hand and grabbed Zhu Yujia's wrist. She pulled Zhu Yujia against the tree wall and joked, "Police, don't move." Su Qian patted Qin Bao's shoulder and laughed. Your partner was caught by the police. How do you feel? You have to practice more if you want to rob. Qin Bao shrugged his shoulders innocently. I'm innocent. I really didn't want to rob you. We're a brother-sister couple. If I want to rob, I'll rob Brother Zhen. Su Qian pushed him and scolded with a smile. Go away. Who wants to be a couple with you? Now that your robber has been caught, quickly bring something to redeem him. Qin Bao took out a piece of chocolate from his pocket and said, It wasn't easy for me to hide this. I'll give it to you. You have to cherish it. Su Qian took it over and opened it. She broke it into two and ate it with Chu Xiang. Chu Xiang let go of Zhu Yujia and said, Be a good person when you get out. Don't do evil anymore. Zhu Yujia was about to go crazy. She held back her anger and laughed. Are the police so strong now? I can't afford to offend them. If I had known, I would have snatched Brother Zhen with Qin Bao. Brother Zhen, why don't you help me? Liang Zhen hugged the wild vegetables and said, Don't come over. If you come over, I'll shout. I'm leaving. Don't follow me. He turned around and was about to leave when Chu Xiang said, That's a dead end. We just came out from there. Is that so? Then let's go this way. Liang Zhen changed the path and ran with his teammates. Chu Xiang held Su Qian. Let's follow Brother Zhen and see if he's lucky enough to find the card. After they left, Qin Bao called Zhu Yujia to take another path. They couldn't let all three teams take the same path. That wouldn't look good. Qin Bao pretended to scold Zhu Yujia, and Zhu Yujia also played along for the audience. Only she knew how disgusted she was. It seemed that the element of surprise was useless against Chu Xiang. It was impossible for her to drag Chu Xiang down. The next time they met, she would compete in a more civilized way. She wanted to win all of Chu Xiang's cards and reduce Chu Xiang's number of cards. Chu Xiang and Su Qian were hiding in the corner. After they left, Chu Xiang brought Su Qian back and took the path that Liang Zhen had chosen at the beginning. Su Qian asked, What are you doing? Chu Xiang smiled. It's a competition. All is fair in war. We have to go west to get out. The path just now is towards the east. We'll take a detour. Let Brother Zhen take the detour. Su Qian smiled. My disciple is amazing. Qin Bao and the rest took the dead end that we just came out of. Let them walk around. I realized that Sister Xiang is really awesome. Her sense of variety is amazing. Who wants to bet that Sister Xiang will be first? Didn't you see that Chu Xiang was bullying Jie just now? Are you blind? Are you blind? Zhu Yujia was the one who pounced on Chu Xiang. Chu Xiang was joking, okay? Can't you tell that it's a movie line? Chu Xiang pretending to be a police officer is so funny. But Zhu Yujia is too dramatic. First she injured her foot. Then she snatched the card. Why does she keep touching Chu Xiang? Look. Chu Xiang snatched someone else's card. Chapter 38. Chu Xiang was hiding behind a thick tree. The branches and leaves of the tree were dense, and there were many vines entwined around it. Chu Xiang was sticking to the tree motionlessly. She could not be seen from the other side of the tree. The strongest group of the five walked over from the other side. The MC nicknamed Iron Bull, and the guests who loved to work out were holding a few fruits in their hands and eating them as they walked. Iron Bull glanced at them casually and pointed to the trunk. Look, is that a card? It seems to be. It's in the vines. Let's go. The two ran over to pull out the card in the vines and relax their vigilance. Chu Xiang grabbed a thick vine in her hand and rushed out. She quickly ran 3 laps around the tree and tied the vine to the place where she was just hiding. What's going on? What's going on? Iron Bull and the MC were lying on the trunk with a confused look. They were still holding the fruit in their hands and looked at Chu Xiang in disbelief. Chu Xiang smiled and said, I'm sorry, teachers. Life is not easy. I can only snatch. Su Qian walked out from the corner with her mouth open and looked at Iron Bull from head to toe. She even stretched out her hand to pull the vine and said in surprise, Chu Xiang, you've subdued Iron Bull. This show has been running for 3 seasons, and this is the first time someone has subdued Iron Bull. Iron Bull did not know whether to laugh or cry. My reputation is ruined today. You're too awesome. Who would have thought that? Our show has a female warrior. his guest gloated. Who was the one who said that he would win just now? He's going to lose everything. Chu Xiang pulled out the card hidden in the vine and said with a smile. Fortunately, I succeeded. Otherwise, I would have lost a card. Su Qian clapped her hands and excitedly grabbed the fruits from Iron Bull and the MC. She laughed and said, I like this episode. No. Today's disciple has found the right one. I can experience the pleasure of snatching Iron Bull's things for once in my life. It's really cool. Iron Bull hurriedly said, Qian, let's do it this way. You let us go, and we'll help you snatch it. Let's form an alliance, okay? Su Qian did not reply. She took out the cards from his pocket and counted them. 4 cards. Including our 2 cards, we can go out now. Iron Bull continued. How about this, let's go out together. If there are any quests in the future, both of us will help you. It's like you have 2 bodyguards, okay? Su Qian smiled as she took 3 cards and stuffed the remaining 1 back. No, you'll definitely rob us once you're free. We're not robbing, we're really not robbing. Let's form an alliance. What if there's a mission that you 2 can't complete? I don't want to be last. Chu Xiang and Su Qian exchanged a look and nodded. Chu Xiang said, deal. But in order to ensure that we won't be robbed, my master and I will leave first. I will give you the head of this vine. You can go around it. Chu Xiang untied the vine and threw it on the ground. She pulled Su Qian, who was laughing, and immediately ran away. Iron Bull and Su Qian dragged the vine over and loosened it. They only managed to get away after 2 minutes. Chu Xiang and Su Qian were already gone. Iron Bull patted his teammates and ran. Chase. Get the cards back. Aren't you forming an alliance? We'll form an alliance if we can't get it. We'll form an alliance with the champion. What's the point of forming an alliance if we get it? Isn't it better to be the champion ourselves? They ran to a fork in the road and found a fruit on the ground. It was very inconspicuous at the foot of the wall. Iron Bull immediately said, They're running this way. Hurry up. The audience laughed when they saw this. The bullet screen was full of 666. Iron Bull's IQ is as low as usual. Can't he see such an obvious trap? Sister Chu knows Iron Bull very well. I guarantee that she watches Outdoor Mission often. It's too awesome. She's definitely the champion. She definitely deserves to be the champion. Qian is too lucky, right? She won without doing anything. Look at how happy she is. I also want to go out and play with Sister Xiang. It's definitely exciting and interesting to play with Sister Xiang. Who knows if Sister Xiang has other shows? I really want to watch it. It's so entertaining. She's even better at causing trouble than the resident MCs. Sister Xiang's servant artist is not Bear. Everyone, go watch Dong Boheo's live broadcast last week. It's super good. Chu Xiang snatched the senior's card. She doesn't respect the senior at all. It's really in line with her usual style of acting like a big shot. Get lost. The director's team wants to snatch each other's cards. This is called the effect of the show. Do you understand? Don't you see that Brother Bull wants to snatch it back? You're a retard. You won't understand even if you think about it. You're still acting like a big shot. 10 fans of Irao were watching, as well as many loyal viewers of the show. Chu Xiang's haters were actually drowned out by the praises for Chu Xiang. The haters jumped a few times. They didn't manage to slander Chu Xiang. Instead, they angered themselves. They couldn't figure out why so many people were on Chu Xiang's side when she had just returned. Of course, some of the comments were controlled by the internet water army bought by Uncle Dong. However, it was still the effect of Chu Xiang's variety show that worked. The passers-by's impression of her increased rapidly, which weakened the power of the haters. Chu Xiang lived up to the audience's expectations. It only took her 15 minutes to break out of the maze with Su Qian. They then rang the gong placed at the entrance of the maze. Su Qian happily hugged Chu Xiang and spun around. She laughed and said, I haven't won in more than 10 episodes. My disciple, you've really made me proud. Haha. Chu Xiang landed on the ground and high-fived her. She smiled and said, Master and disciple, you're invincible. Someone won. The program crew fired a signal gun. The other 4 groups of contestants in the maze all saw it. Everyone guessed that Iron Bull had grabbed all 5 cards and ran out first. The real Iron Bull wiped his face, rolled up his sleeves and said, "Let's go. Let's go and grab other people's cards. Once we get them, let's quickly go out and form an alliance with them. Don't lose face in the end." Therefore, Zhu Yujia, who had been chasing after Chu Xiang, finally rushed over. However, she was snatched by Iron Bull. The 2 cards that Qin Bao found fell into Iron Bull's hands. Iron Bull ran over to grab 2 more cards. He and the guests went left and right, and finally became the 2 neighboring teams. Chu Xiang and the others were the first to receive the full broadcast of the episode. They could stay until the end. The second contestant left when 3/4 of the broadcast time had passed. The third contestant left halfway through the broadcast. The fourth contestant was given 40 minutes, and the fifth contestant left directly. The second task was weightlifting. They only had to lift 10 100-kilogram barbells and place them on the rack to pass. Chu Xiang and Su Qian were dumbfounded when they saw it. This was too unfriendly to women. They could have tried lifting 1 or 2. Lifting 10 at once, did they still want their arms? Chu Xiang bent down and tried to lift the barbells. She gave up and sat on the ground. She joked, "Master, I was exhausted just now. I finally understand why you were so strict with me in the past. Life is not easy. Do you have to work so hard just to record a program?" Su Qian laughed and sat beside her. "Wait for the bodyguards. Didn't Iron Bull ally with us? I bet he wanted to snatch us just now. However, since we were the first to come out, he will definitely flatter us. Let's take a break and wait for Brother Bull to come over and win." Chu Xiang lay on the grass and rested her arms. She was really tired. It was not easy for celebrities to record a program. However, this was fun. She felt that the broadcast would be good. When Iron Bull and Su Qian came out, they saw the barbells beside them and laughed. "I was afraid that you would leave first. It turns out that you really have to rely on me." The production team fired another signal gun. Chu Xiang and Su Qian stood up and smiled as they moved to the side. Su Qian clapped her hands and said, "Brother Bull, you can do it. It's time for you to show off your skills." Iron Bull and the guests he invited were muscular men who often worked out. It was not difficult for them to lift the 100-kilogram barbells. The 2 of them each lifted it 10 times and placed it on the rack, completing the task for both groups. The 4 of them put their hands together and smiled. This is the last stage. Good luck. They had just taken a few steps when Liang Zhen ran out as the third team. He saw the barbells and hurriedly chased after them. "Iron Bull, don't go. Help us. You can't just help the girls and ignore your brothers, right?" Iron Bull pushed him away mercilessly. "Our team is full. We are not recruiting anyone. Play by yourself." Liang Zhen was a little chubby and did not have much strength. He looked at the barbells with his teammates and was speechless. What should we do? Every task had to be interesting. For the show to be interesting, Liang Zhen and his teammates had to work together to lift the barbells. Of course, Iron Bull could not help everyone lift the barbells. What was there to see? Therefore, Liang Zhen only wailed a few times in front of the camera before he and his teammates lifted the barbell, huffing and puffing. The fourth team ran out and saw that the 2 of them were tired. They simply went to make trouble. Anyway, it had been 25 minutes since the fourth team came out. They would leave in 15 minutes. It was useless to go to the third task. They might as well make trouble for Liang Zhen. Half an hour later, the forest maze task ended. The program team announced that Qin Bao and Zhu Yujia's broadcast had ended. They immediately disappeared from the camera. The 2 of them were led out of the maze by the staff and told that they could get off work. Without the camera, Qin Bao did not have a pleasant expression on his face towards Zhu Yujia. He turned around and left coldly. Zhu Yujia bit her lip and looked at her assistant, who ran over to help her. "Did I perform badly just now?" The assistant looked at her and said, "Sister Yujia, you seem to be looking for Chu Xiang. Brother Qin chose 2 paths but you rejected them. Then you walked into a dead end. There are many fans of Brother Qin in the bullet screen. You dragged him down." Zhu Yujia frowned deeply and limped to Qin Bao. She apologized sincerely. "Brother Qin, I'm sorry. After my foot injury, I felt that I was dragging you down. I always wanted to win. I didn't expect that I was so stupid and made a fool of myself. I'm really sorry. Qin Bao waved his hand. It's okay. I'll leave first. He got into the nanny van without looking back. He did not give Zhu Yujia a chance to say anything. Zhu Yujia had no choice but to leave after greeting the production crew. After getting into the car, she angrily punched the seat. She was so angry that she did not know how to vent. Lin Jiawei gave her this opportunity to go on the show so that she could bully Chu Xiang. In just 2 short hours, what could she do? She could only think of hurting Chu Xiang and making Chu Xiang lose the competition and lose the broadcast. The broadcast was definitely very important to Chu Xiang, who had just made a comeback. But how did she end up being the one who walked away in the last half hour? She regretted it so much. She should not have been in a hurry to chase after Chu Xiang. She should have focused on looking for the card, and at least ensured that she could broadcast. Now, she did not do it well and came here for nothing. Her ankle hurt so badly. It was really a double loss. Chapter 39. Zhu Yujia had been put in at the last minute. The other 9 celebrities did not know her, so no one cared when she left. The barbell task points were always troublesome, and they could not finish the task. Chu Xiang and the other 3 started to build a stove. The third task was to let them build a stove, give them a pot, and ask them to find food nearby for a picnic. Tainyo ran to the river to catch fish. He thought it would be easy, but he could not catch anything. He said in frustration, "I'll be in charge of the stove. Who knows how to catch fish?" His teammate immediately said, "I don't know. I've never caught fish before." Su Qian looked at Chu Xiang. "I can't catch anything. I'll go to the forest to see if there are any fruits or wild vegetables." Chu Xiang went to the river and took the initiative to take the task of catching fish. "I'll try. I think there are river crabs. I'll see if I can catch them." "Then you have to be careful." Su Qian carried the shoulder bag that Chu Xiang made with a sunscreen shirt and told Tainyo to build the stove quickly. Then she ran into the forest. The 3rd and 4th contestants have left. There are only 4 people left. It's so sad. Can they succeed in the remaining 50 minutes? It seems very difficult. They have to build a stove without ingredients. How can they catch fish without a fork and a net? Is there anyone who can catch fish with their bare hands? I don't know. Look at Chu Xiang looking down from the water. Is she really going to use her hands to catch fish? Use a branch to fork it. Chu Xiang, quickly find a tool. I think they failed today's task. Tainyo was covered in water just now, but they did not catch anything. Aha! After watching them fight fiercely for the cards, the audience found it interesting to see them racking their brains to build a stove to catch fish. The bullet screen was discussing wilderness survival. If they were thrown into a wilderness survival program, they would definitely fail. Chu Xiang saw the fish and suddenly grabbed it. The fish escaped quickly and splashed water on her face. She aimed and rushed forward. In the end, she grabbed a lot of mud. The bullet screen was full of ha 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 ha, blocking the entire screen. Can someone make a gif? Ha ha ha. Put it together with the scene of Sister Xiang snatching someone's card. Ha ha, so cute. Sister Jin Xiang isn't Sister Xiang. She's the cute Xiang Xiang. I feel like the fish is teasing her. The fish has turned into a demon. It splashed water onto Xiang Xiang's face again. Ah! Xiang Xiang's face is full of confusion. She is doubting her life. What did I do wrong? Why was the winner catching fish here? Ha ha ha. This was too much of a contrast to how she looked just now. The audience was delighted to see this. It was the same for Tainyo's side. The 2 men built a stove and accidentally knocked it down. They argued with each other and smeared mud on each other's faces. By the time they finished building the stove, their faces were already covered in mud. Su Qian was also at her wit's end. She did not know what wild vegetables were. She dug up a pile of grass and was so tired that she was sweating profusely. In the end, she could not eat any of them. Tainyo made a fire to dry the stove. Su Qian was exhausted and lay on the grass. "Disciple, I'm relying on you to fill my stomach. You won't let me go hungry, right?" Tainyo laughed and said, "Are you addicted to winning without doing anything? I'll see what you can do without your disciple in the next episode." Su Qian snorted. "I'll worry about the next episode. Anyway, I'm relying on my disciple for this episode." Chu Xiang raised her arm and used her sleeve to wipe the water off her face. She smiled and said, "Master, don't worry. I've already figured out the trick. Wait for me." At this moment, the program team announced, "The second group has finished broadcasting. Please leave." Four men in black ran over and dragged Tainyo and his teammates away. Tainyo was stunned. He suddenly realized something and said, "I can't wait to eat game. Why did I work so hard to build the stove just now?" Su Qian slapped the ground and laughed. "The nation's best ally. You can go in peace. We'll definitely eat your share." She got up and ran to the river. She said excitedly, "Disciple, have you caught anything? No matter how many you catch, it'll be ours. No one will snatch it from us." Chu Xiang had a look of certainty. "We'll definitely catch it this time. The fish is coming." The fish that was teasing Chu Xiang swam over quickly. Chu Xiang also quickly jumped forward. In the end, her feet sank into the sand at the bottom of the river, and she did not manage to jump out. Her whole body fell into the river with a splash, creating a large splash on the surface of the water. "Ha ha 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 XSL. We'll definitely catch it. Turn around and you'll be dead. HHH. This fish is definitely a demon. Let's take a screenshot and share it. We'll have good luck." Sister Xiang has finally encountered a problem. How difficult is it to record a program? Life is not easy. You have to be multi-talented. This program is really awesome. It specializes in breaking the image of celebrities. My sister Xiang has been killing everyone along the way. In the end, she was defeated by a fish. I'm convinced. Originally, because of the volume of the broadcast, the artists withdrew one by one. In the end, only the B-list Su Qian and Chu Xiang, who had just made a comeback, were left. The program team was also very surprised and worried that the audience would give up. In the end, they did not expect that the battle between Chu Xiang and the fish would become a highlight. Almost all the audience was retained. The director hurriedly asked someone to take more pictures of Chu Xiang's expression. They must also capture the traces of the fish in the river. Chu Xiang looked up from the water with a confused expression and struggled to get up. Su Qian went into the water to help her. She held back her laughter and said, "Disciple, are you okay?" Chu Xiang took a deep breath. "Master, my martial arts are not good enough." "It's okay. I'll help you catch it." Su Qian rolled up her sleeves and put on a fierce posture. "I don't believe that the two of us can't deal with a fish today. We won't catch other fish but this one." Of course, the two of them did not catch the fish in the end. The fish in the river were clever. How could non-professionals catch it with their bare hands? But the wonderful thing was that the very special fish really always wandered around them, as if it was really teasing them. The two of them were in a hurry, which made the audience laugh so hard that their stomachs hurt. Chu Xiang estimated that it was almost time. She dispersed the spiritual aura gathered on her legs, and the fish swam away without looking back. How could a fish keep circling them? It was all because she used her spiritual aura to attract it to make the show laugh. She put her hands on her knees, showed an unwilling expression, and watched the fish go away. Su Qian patted her on the shoulder. "Forget it, spare its life. Let's go ashore and see what we can eat. At least we can complete the task." Chu Xiang followed her to the shore and saw a crab not far away. She took off her waterproof overalls while gathering spiritual aura in her hands. She slowly approached the crab. The crab felt the spiritual aura and quickly crawled over. She quickly picked up the crab and raised it to Su Qian with a smile. "Master, we have river crabs tonight." Su Qian smiled and said, "Fortunately, there is a meat dish." The two of them took the pot from the program crew, steamed the only crab, and cooked a pot of mushroom soup. In the huge suburban woods, the two women sat next to the stove and stared pitifully at the river crab and the pot of mushroom soup in front of them. It was funny no matter how they looked at it. The afterglow of the setting sun made the two of them even more miserable. The program crew added the effect of the autumn wind sweeping the fallen leaves in the live broadcast, and added a sad arrow. which made the audience laugh crazily. This episode of the show ended when the two of them picked up the river crab. Many people complained that they hadn't seen enough, and asked the program crew to do such a task a few more times. After the live broadcast ended, Tao quickly ran over and put a bath towel on Chu Xiang. She said with concern, "Sister Xiang, are you cold? It's windy now. Go back to the car quickly. Don't catch a cold." Chu Xiang nodded. "I'll say hello." She walked to Su Qian and smiled. "Sister Qian, sorry to trouble you today." Su Qian smiled and waved her hand. "You are the one who is tired today. I can stay until the end because of you. I was right to invite you. How do you feel?" "Our show is terrible, right?" Chu Xiang shrugged. "It's the same as Are You Xiong Xiong?" "Haha, it's true. I watched the episode of you and Dong Boheo. You are good. You have a good sense of variety shows. What are your plans next? You can be a resident MC and shoot a variety show. It will be good for your popularity." "I am planning to shoot a variety show. I am also in contact with other companies. But I just came back, so I have to take my time. Sister Qian, if you have any opportunities in the future, don't forget me." "Of course I will. Let's go and eat. We will go back after eating." Su Qian pulled Chu Xiang along as they walked. Initially, the few of us would have a gathering every time we finished recording the show. This time they are off work first, so it's just the two of us. I have been here once. There is a hot pot restaurant nearby. Let's go and eat hot pot? Okay, let me treat you this time. I haven't seen Sister Qian for a long time. You can't fight with me. Haha, okay, then I have to eat more. Su Qian realized that Chu Xiang was much more cheerful than when they were filming dramas together in the past. Or rather, she was much more mature. She would think about the camera when filming the show. After filming, she would also make small talk with others. In general, she had become more sensible. Su Qian liked it. The two of them were not competitors, and they had shot a TV series before. It was a meeting between old friends. They had a very happy meal. As they chatted, they mentioned Zhu Yujia. Su Qian asked curiously, "Do you have any conflicts with Zhu Yujia? Why do I feel that she is not right today?" Chu Xiang cooked a piece of mutton and ate it. She wondered, "I don't know her. I am also wondering. I feel that she seems to be against me. If it weren't for my stiff leg, we would have gotten off work today. I am in the same company as her. I have met her a few times in the company. She is very polite and knows how to make things happen. I just don't know what is wrong with her today. But you two don't have many opportunities to meet each other. If you don't know, then don't know. Maybe she remembers something from a long time ago. Don't worry about her." Chu Xiang nodded. But in her heart, she felt that something was wrong. Her divine sense was very strong. When she received the original owner's memory, she could receive the complete memory. She even knew the things that the original owner had forgotten. If the original owner and Zhu Yujia had any interaction, she would know. Zhu Yujia suddenly changed the guest and targeted her. No matter how she looked at it, she was targeting her. After returning to the apartment, Chu Xiang called Uncle Dong and told him about Zhu Yujia. Uncle Dong wondered, "Why is a person who I have never heard of finding trouble with you? I will check it later. I will tell you when I find out. Are you tired today? I watched the live broadcast. It is too tiring." Chu Xiang smiled and said, "It is not tiring. As long as I can fight the first battle of my comeback, it doesn't matter if it is tiring. By the way, Uncle Dong, can I get some money in advance from the company?" Uncle Dong checked and said, "The remuneration for your participation in these two programs will be transferred to your account soon." "Well, in addition to these two, I want to get some in advance." "You want to get some in advance? So much money. Did something happen to you?" Chu Xiang looked at Lin Jiawei's interview in the magazine. She smiled and said, "I am investing." Chapter 40. It was impossible for an artist who had just joined the company to get a large sum of money in advance. However, Chu Xiang's comeback momentum was very strong, and Zhou Yi personally signed her, so Uncle Dong helped her and Zhou Yi with this matter. Zhou Yi said in surprise, Chu Xiang wants to invest? Invest in what? Uncle Dong shook his head. She doesn't have this. I think she is very confident and has already decided. Even if she can't get an advance from the company, she may find a way from other places. Zhou Yi played with a pen and showed a playful smile. When I talked to her about signing the contract, I found that she is very vengeful. Investment? She doesn't want to play Lin Jiawei to death, does she? That's not something that can be done casually. Zhou Yi thought for a moment and said with a smile, I'll give her an advance of 5 million. I also want to know how her investment vision is. What's Chu Xiang's future development plan? I didn't give you the wrong person, did I? Chu Xiang's future prospects are very good. I'm confident that I can bring her up. As long as she works hard and doesn't mess around, she will be better than the few I've taken care of. Uncle Dong smiled comfortably, and his eyes were full of long-lost fighting spirit. Zhou Yi was a little surprised that he was so optimistic about Chu Xiang. After Uncle Dong left, he lay on the sofa and opened the program that Chu Xiang had just filmed to watch the recording. After watching for a while, he laughed out loud. He didn't expect Chu Xiang to be like this in the program. She was different from the young Madame Lin he had seen before. And she was also different from the sister Chu he had seen at dinner. How many faces did this girl have? However, Chu Xiang in the program was really interesting and funny. Chu Xiang was also watching the program herself. She soaked in the bathtub and put the tablet on the stand. While watching the results of her shooting, she looked at the audience's reaction on the bullet screen and smiled with satisfaction. She had watched a lot of similar variety shows before, so she roughly understood how MC made things interesting. After trying 2 episodes, she found that it was quite good, and she could continue like this. When she received a notification from Uncle Dong, she saw that her account had reached 7 million. Plus the 2 million she had earned from the stock market, she had more than 10 million. She transferred 10 million yuan into an account. Seeing that her account was left with less than 100,000 yuan, she raised her eyebrows and contacted another person. Investments were not all about money. She had used 10 million to invest in a successful entrepreneur. The rest of her investments were all about plans and ideas. Now she had shares in 6 companies. However, the time was still short, and there were no results to be seen. If he wanted to get rich dividends, he would have to wait. While Chu Xiang was discussing the project with someone, one of Chu Xiang's fans on the internet had watched the show 3 times and discovered something with his sharp eyes. Before Zhu Yujie tripped Chu Xiang, she had looked at Chu Xiang twice. After she pointed out that Zhu Yujie had deliberately tripped up Chu Xiang, the netizens were a little confused. How could there be intrigue in such a joyous program? Since ancient times, eating melons was a source of joy. Many people joined in the discussion. I don't think there's any connection between Zhu Yujie and Chu Xiang. It should just be a coincidence. It's indeed quite a coincidence. She tripped up Chu Xiang and almost fell on Chu Xiang. Don't you think that she seemed to be chasing after Chu Xiang? Am I overthinking? Xiang fans, what's the matter? What's wrong with Jejia looking at Chu Xiang twice? Didn't she look at someone else too? Do you guys have persecutory delusions? That's right. Maybe the camera just happened to capture it from that angle. What's so strange about it? Chu Xiang's comeback is really big. Now she even came up with a conspiracy theory. We can't afford to offend her. My heart aches for Jejia. If you have a hammer, release it. What's there to scam? It's Jejia who's being bullied today, okay? You guys are here to cause trouble. The Xiang fan who brought up this matter had been looking for someone in the fan group. Another Xiang fan found a high-tech person to slow down the scene and looked at it frame by frame. Finally, they confirmed that Zhu Yujie had done it on purpose. When she was about to trip Chu Xiang, she was clearly looking down at Chu Xiang's leg. If this wasn't intentional, then what was? The Xiang fans immediately sent out the slow-motion video and screenshots, mocking. The hammer you want is here. Take a closer look at who's causing trouble. This time, it became a real melon with a hammer. Some of Zhu Yujie's fans suspected that the evidence was fake. In the end, they were slapped in the face by the technical passers-by, proving that it was definitely true. Zhu Yujie's fans asked for a hammer and were very embarrassed. On the other hand, The Xiang fans were seeking justice for Chu Xiang. Why was she being targeted like this when she participated in a show? While the passers-by were watching the commotion, they also had a question. Why are there so many people who don't like Chu Xiang? The haters took the opportunity to take action. Flies don't sting seamless eggs. Chu Xiang's conduct is improper, so it's natural for her to attract haters. It's not necessarily her fault that a few people don't like her. There must be something wrong with her if so many people don't like her. She's acting like a big shot, arrogant, materialistic, and doesn't care about her fans. Everything in the show is fake. It's all an act. What wouldn't she do for money? The number of Chu Xiang's fans increased rapidly. Finally, they met force with force against Chu Xiang's anti-fans. If there's a hammer, let the hammer go. Some people will start rumors as soon as they talk. Everyone, let's repost her. Let her go to the police station and sue her if she has more than 500 reposts. You're also awesome when it comes to the victim's guilt. Have you finished your kindergarten homework? Read more books. Don't come out to show off your IQ. Although I don't know why Zhu Yujia is targeting Xiang Xiang, I know that you haters are just envious, jealous and hateful. Our Xiang Xiang has the looks, the money, and the career. Even if you spit blood, you can't compare to her. Because brainless people won't succeed. As soon as the name Zhu Yujia appeared in the eyes of the public, it was forgotten to the side. The battlefield became the battle between the Xiang fans and Chu Xiang's haters. The haters grabbed onto Chu Xiang's poor character, and had always been despised by the rich and powerful. The Xiang fans promoted all kinds of Chu Xiang's works, good character, and good relations with people. Chu Xiang made a comeback. She made a comeback and said, "Baby, I will always be here." Therefore, her Xiang fans put on their armor and fought for her. They didn't allow the haters to slander her unscrupulously. Not a single word was allowed. The Xiang fans had been refuting the haters with reason and evidence, proving that Chu Xiang was a polite, kind and professional artist. The haters, on the other hand, were spouting nonsense without any evidence. Even the onlookers were gradually leaning towards the Xiang fans. However, Zhu Yujia's attitude towards Chu Xiang was indeed thought-provoking. People couldn't help but wonder if the industry insiders hated Chu Xiang. Xingyao's public relations department was the first to know about the dispute on the internet. They paid attention to it and helped to control the comments. This was a good opportunity to attack the haters. Naturally, they couldn't miss it. Uncle Dong sped up the investigation of Zhu Yujia's background. He found out from his acquaintances that Zhu Yujia's appearance in the show was Lin Jiawei's doing. This made sense. Lin Jiawei stuffed Zhu Yujia into the show at the last minute, and maliciously targeted Chu Xiang. Perhaps it was because he couldn't ban her, and didn't want her to make a comeback. Uncle Dong also investigated why Lin Jiawei chose Zhu Yujia. This time, he unexpectedly found out that Zhu Yujia was actually Mo Xinru's cousin. Uncle Dong called Chu Xiang and asked, "This matter involves your relationship. Do you want to expose it?" Chu Xiang sneered. So it was Lin Jiawei who did it. He's really capable. If there's a first time, there'll be a second time. Just wait and see. He'll definitely find trouble with me in the future. Why don't we just expose it, and let everyone know that there's something fishy going on behind the scenes? Uncle Dong remembered that Zhou Yi held a grudge against her. He smiled. "Okay, I'll arrange this matter for you," Chu Xiang said seriously. "Thank you, Uncle Dong. I know that you weren't very busy before taking me in. You were almost in a semi-retired state. Now you're personally helping me. You've put in a lot of effort. I'm really grateful." Uncle Dong smiled. "As long as you work hard, you don't have to worry about anything else. This is also my career." Chu Xiang chuckled. "Then I'll first wish Uncle Dong great success, and to stand at the top of the pyramid in the future." "Same to you, haha." Uncle Dong arranged for people to spread the news. This news wasn't exposed all at once. Instead, it was released bit by bit with suspense. The Public Relations Department first made a comparison between Zhu Yujia and Chu Xiang. They purposely found a slightly similar angle and released the account to let the Internet Water Army lead the rhythm. If my eyes aren't playing tricks on me, the two of them look a little similar. Please don't tell me that this is a family matter. Could it really be some kind of sister quarrel? That's not right. Didn't Chu Xiang come from an orphanage? Don't blame me for coming up with a conspiracy theory. I thought of a plot. Is it possible that the daughter of the first wife and the daughter of the second wife are half-sisters? Upstairs, you're overthinking it. But I've actually been brainwashed by you. Now my mind is filled with family grudges and sister quarrels. There's something I don't know if I should say. If Zhu Yujie and Chu Xiang are sisters, then Chu Xiang and Mo Xinru. They're 70% similar enough to be a substitute. I'm thinking that they don't have common faces. How could there be so many similarities? To be honest, Chu Xiang is still the prettiest. I fell into the trap because of her looks. These two people don't deserve to be Chu Xiang's sisters. They're so evil. Zhu Yujie and Mo Xinru's cousins looked a little alike. Naturally, she and Chu Xiang also looked a little alike. With such a comparison, some people really thought in this direction, and even dragged Mo Xinru into it. This matter fermented for an entire night. When the second day's popularity died down, Uncle Dong released the news that Zhu Yujie was Mo Xinru's cousin. This time it was real. It wasn't a joke like before. The netizens didn't expect such a miraculous reversal. If Zhu Yujie was Mo Xinru's cousin, then wouldn't everything be clear? No wonder Zhu Yujie targeted Chu Xiang. So she's third sister's cousin. The cousins are jackals of the same tribe. Wasn't there a rumor that Zhu Yujie was replaced on the show at the last minute? Could it be that third sister specially sent her to bully Chu Xiang? Evil rich people. Just because they're rich, they can bully others. But the result is satisfying. The scheming cousin went for wool, but came home shorn. Third sister must be furious. Zhu Yujie hid at home and called Mo Xinru. She cried. What should I do, sis? The internet is scolding me now. I'm the one who's being bullied. How did it become like this? Mo Xinru was full of anger. She said angrily. Who told you to target her? She's just a celebrity. Where can she go? Now that you're making a scene, everyone will think that I asked you to go. What are you thinking? Zhu Yujie was silent for a moment. She lowered her voice and said, I'm just a celebrity. Also, it was Brother Jiawei who asked me to go. When Zhu Yujie hung up, Mo Xinru snorted. Even her own family was making things difficult for her. How ridiculous. That you're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.